Center. He wasn't a center.
No.
Julius Erving was not.
Small forward.
I've messed that up totally.
Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't win the championship until they get a center, and that was Moses Malone.
Wow. All right, we have a bunch of things to get to, so I'm going to start with this. Wendy Williams' family opened up to People magazine in an interview about the former talk show host's shocking and heartbreaking struggles over the last 3 years. And this comes ahead of the premiere of a new documentary called Where is Wendy Williams, which is coming out on Saturday. Her niece, Alex, said, "We've all seen the images over the last few months and really few years of what it seems like a spiral for my aunt. It was shocking and heartbreaking to see her in this state."
So I was talking about the trailer. I watched the trailer for this, and it's heart-wrenching. I mean, she's a mess.
The Lifetime documentary crew began filming in 2022 as Wendy was preparing her comeback in Hollywood, and they stopped in April of 2023 when she entered a facility to seek treatment for cognitive issues. She's still in the facility today, and her family told the outlet that the only a court-appointed legal guardian has access to her. Her sister, Wanda, said the people who love her cannot see her.
Yeah.
I think the big question is how the hell did we get here? So it's still
The dynamic
shrouded
is
in mystery.
bad, right? To think about Casey Kasem and other people have had one person step in and kind of take control of everything.
Right.
And they start to slide. Wendy Williams built a radio career. She is a legitimate legend. She's in the National Radio Hall of Fame. She was inducted the year prior to us. And, it's sad to see her this way.
Yeah, so clearly she's going through some stuff that, physically, but is there anything like behind the scenes going on that's like a little hinky? What's that movie where they
Transformers?
No, it's not Transformers. I don't think there's any robots in this movie.
Okay,
but
'cause
it's
they're evil.
Where some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are trying to save the planet. But no, where they take this elderly woman and they, against her will, put her in a...
Rosamund Pike is
Yes.
in it. It's called
Yeah.
I Really Care, I think, is the name of the movie or something like that.
Is there anything like that going on?
I don't
She
know.
has legitimate
cognitive issues.
She has
All right.
legitimate cognitive issues going on, as Preston said.
Not really sure.
That's the problem.
Misha Barton revealed on Wednesdays, on her Wednesday podcast, that she and Ben McKenzie dated in real life while starring on the OC.
I knew it!
The pair played each other's love interests on the show in the early aughts. She said, "I went into that a virgin, a kid, really, feeling like I needed to grow up quickly." She explained that her co-stars were older than her and she felt she needed to catch up. She added, "I was always a really late bloomer in school and I hadn't really dated." She shared that she and Mackenzie got involved early on in filming. Said it definitely was tricky that it happened right out of the gate and I felt overwhelmed and not ready for any of that.
So that was an impossibly good-looking cast.
She said, "I remember that they were like, Misha's disappeared with Ben and she's only 17 and a half, 18. And the producers went to my parents and were like, it was kind of a whole ordeal because Mackenzie was 25 at the time." She shared that she eventually ended the relationship because it felt, quote, overwhelming and too close to home. But they went at it a little bit. All right, Machine Gun Kelly is expanding his tattoo collection with a significant addition, and you will need to see the picture to understand. The rapper and singer-songwriter posted on Instagram on Tuesday to unveil a massive new tattoo that now dominates his arms and chest. Essentially, it's just all black.
Wait, what?
I mean, it's like he's wearing a crop top shirt,
what it
long
looks like.
sleeve shirt.
Oh, what
I
it
mean,
looks like.
covered.
That's real?
That's real.
solid in
Wow,
ink.
that's got to be so painful, man.
The latest artwork forms a silhouette of a cross across his torso. That's the part that they left kind of blank with his old tattoos underneath. His arms adorned in new designs, leaving only faint traces of his previous tattoos visible. Notably, his stomach still bears his previous red tattoo reading "Locals Only," and another one of a man holding a sign that says, "I want change."
And a Pokemon.
And a Pokemon.
It kind of looks cool.
You going to do it?
No. That looks like extreme. I mean, that's a lot.
So this is what it
of
looks
work.
like. I think he looks like a character from the X-Men.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like it's a suit that you would
Stupido.
wear. But the thing is, you can't take that off.
No.
That is
No.
there permanently. It would look cool as a skin-tight kind of outfit to wear.
Every
Yeah.
night,
Casey,
I would try to take it off.
That ain't cool.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
It looks cool if it's something you take off at night when you get
Exactly.
home.
And by the way, there's they can get rid of tattoos, certainly. I don't know how you get rid of that.
that
And
one's-
Steve, the most difficult tattoos to remove
Yeah.
are dark tattoos.
Right. So,
white.
Light colored. Sorry, I went to a place to get my tattoos looked at to have removal. They can't remove like white and yellow.
Oh, they can remove the black?
They can't remove it at all.
Okay, sorry.
Black is much easier to remove.
how
yes.
long did Lauren Harris had a black cross on,
Well,
on
she
her neck?
still has a mark. That's why I thought that, because a friend of mine has teeny little. She got a flower when we were 16,
Right.
And it turned into it would look like grapes. We used to tell her they were grapes, and they can't. And it was black and purple, and they can't
Interesting.
get it to completely go away.
Maybe the newer inks make it
I don't know.
easier.
Or yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe
Yeah.
it was the older inks. Maybe it was.
Or Kathy, maybe you just wear a shirt that's black instead of.
It's listen. I'll give it to him. It's a commitment, man.
Yeah.
It's he went and he is stuck with this
Preston?
for good.
There's a picture of him with Megan Fox and the tattoo artist. It looks like one of the ships during the funeral scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with aliens. It's like, what the hell am I looking at?
So his tattoo artist rocks ROXX. Also took to social media to share another picture of the musician's new
It's an
tattoo.
expression of the darkness in his soul.
In this photo, the rapper squats down looking over his shoulder and down at his arm, which is now fully covered in ink. He
The
said,
hell did I do?
Machine Gun Kelly tweeted back or had responded back, thanks for the joy and the pain. And he noted that the new ink required 44 needles. So I guess they went through 44 different needles.
So when they're doing
throughout
that,
the process.
when they're making it full black like that, is there like the way you'd have a wider felt pen? What device is used? Because they can't be just doing microscopic dot.
No. When they're doing shading, like so, they'll have
Right.
it's like one needle or whatever when they're doing the outlines and stuff. But when you're doing the shading, there's several.
So it's
needles.
essentially like a wide brush version of the needle.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So-
Yeah.
I've seen, traditional tribal tattoos that are like that, where they're big, huge
Right.
swaths of black across. So I guess maybe that's what he's going for. I'm not really sure. Very
I was thinking of
islandy
getting
type of thing.
no sad bro down the side of my face, but
yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
All right, that's stuck for a while.
You know what? Draw it in Sharpie first.
Right.
See if you like
See,
it.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, this was terrible to see. Motocross star and former X Games medalist Jaden J.O. Archer died while practicing a backflip trick on Wednesday in
my
Australia.
gosh.
Yeah, he was 27. Archer was a member of the Nitro Circus. First rider to perform a triple backflip in competition.
You saw the
Awful.
Nitro Circus, didn't you?
Several times.
Yeah,
It was great.
amazing.
And I'm sure he was one. There are so many people in that thing
Yeah.
that I don't remember everyone, but I'm sure he was with the group then. He was practicing that trick Wednesday morning in his hometown of Melbourne, Australia. It's unclear specifically what happened in the incident. Travis Pastrana, who founded Nitro Circus, said it really hit home. He said J.O. grew up in a time when action sports was at its biggest, and he always wanted to do the big stuff like the double and triple, even though there weren't a lot of places to showcase those bigger tricks. He'd go up every morning at 4 a.m., go to the gym before work so he could ride his dirt bike. When he came to Maryland to train, he stayed at my house, was an incredible role model to my kids. He was a great human first, a hard worker second, and a bad mother effer third. He's one of the only 3 riders to ever land a triple backflip on a dirt bike. He was the first to do so in competition in November 2022 at the Nitro World Games in Australia. He had been with Nitro Circus for more than a decade, has 2 X Games medals to his name, and most recently won a bronze medal at the X Games California last summer. So that's tragic.
So the way I reconcile all this is that people like that need to live on the edge. So they would not have been living had they not have done, at least by their reckoning, I'm sure, this extreme sort of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think the clock is always ticking at some level when this is what you do, and the danger's always there. And that, for them, I think, is part of the intoxicating aspect of it, right?
It probably fuels
I like to
them.
watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Some people die doing that.
I did a backflip on the couch once.
Did I ever tell you guys about the time I was dating this girl and she left me for this dirt bike guy? And I was,
Really?
Yeah, it was like early 20s. And man,
She
I was,
lost to zero and got with the hero?
well, Steve, I was the zero for sure, and but like everything you sort of just described about them living on the edge,
Yeah,
and
was
being,
that true?
He was a bad boy,
Yeah,
Steve, and he
yeah.
rode a dirt bike, and he was tough and dirty and stud, and I was like, can we go watch more TV? There was no way I was ever going to win to this guy.
Look who probably has control of all his extremities.
Right?
now,
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think in the long run, I was the safer bet. But at 22, no way.
No.
No,
Hell,
I had a friend who was like that, and he died in a motorcycle accident.
Man.
But he was the guy who had to be out doing that stuff.
Yeah.
friend of mine, the
Got-
same thing. Danny,
got the better of him.
and Preston had a dirt bike when he was like an infant, and just was always on some sort of motorized thing and ended up dying.
Wow. All right. Well, a few other stories. On the season 2 premiere of The Family Stallone yesterday, Sylvester Stallone's daughter, Sistine,
My daughters?
shared how the Rocky actor prepared her for self-defense. She said, he made us practice pepper spraying each other.
Oh my God.
And she said, oh my God, that's so bad. And he put a little knife in my backpack in 4th grade.
Okay.
What the hell?
Protected.
Yeah.
I named you Sistine after the Eiffel
chap-
Tower.
That was the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
After
Wrong.
the Eiffel Tower. I love it.
The Sistine Tower of Pizza.
So yeah, apparently she used to take a nap. Man, his daughters are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous.
They're stunning.
They have a podcast that, and I think this is
Oh
an
my God.
extension of that, but they are clearly that kind.
Are
you know?
they?
Yeah.
Oh,
but they're better because there's an earthiness to Stallone.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is neck deep in estrogen.
Oh my God. So here's a follow-up to yesterday. According to The Wrap, Kelly Rowland did not walk off the set of Today's Show because of her dressing room, as we reported yesterday. Rather, a source told the outlet that Kelly was offended that Savannah Guthrie repeatedly and aggressively asked her about Beyonce.
Now the truth comes out.
The source added the story was spun that Kelly didn't like her dressing room, but she's been on the Today Show numerous times. She and her team know the dressing room setup. That would not come as a surprise at all.
Do you want to kiss her?
I want to kiss you. Yeah. So
I want to kiss you.
You want to kiss me?
yeah, apparently I guess I could see that being more of a thing than the dressing room.
If you're hot, listen. I've seen her interviewed, and people ask questions about Beyonce, and that's not a problem.
Yeah.
I think it's the way you come in at it. Like, you must wake up just
Yeah.
so upset that she's so famous, and you're here
Right.
on the Today Show with Hoda Kotb.
But I guess she mainly wanted to talk about it's a Mea Culpa. Is that a movie or is that
Yes, it's
okay.
about the inventor of this epoxy that turns screen doors into boat bottoms.
Oh, is that what that's about? Finally, they've made a movie. No, so I don't know. But anyhow, that's supposedly the word. NBC News reports that Ewan McIntosh, the actor who played Keith on the UK version of The Office, has passed away. He was only 50 years old. Cause of death not yet known. His co-star Ricky Gervais reacted to the news Wednesday morning saying, extremely sad news. The very, very funny and lovely Ewan McIntosh, known to many as Big Keith from The Office, passed away. An absolute original, he wrote. McIntosh's other roles include films such as The Lobster, Finding Fatima, and Nightmare on 34th Street. So I wasn't familiar. I didn't watch it.
There's about 250,000 Office episodes domestically, much more limited run, and I did watch the whole series, the British series, and I know this guy. He was very good.
So this is kind of fun. Emma Stone told Variety in an interview published yesterday that she learned her lesson when it comes to making jokes about Taylor Swift. So they're friends.
Yes.
Okay. And she jokingly called Swift an a-hole at the Golden Globes this year. And she said, I definitely won't make a joke like that again because I saw headlines that really pulled it out of context. Pointing to herself, she said, what a dope. And she essentially will not let the Swifties misconstrue anything that she says about Taylor again.
It's like Lost and Sweating Dynamite. You just stay away from it. Don't go. Don't. Yeah. If you think you can, you can.
Yep. Let's see. There's another thing I wanted to add. What time is it here? Yeah, we got a break here in a second. Let's go with this. Lindsay Lohan is giving fans a dose of nostalgia by starring in another life-swapping movie, this time for Netflix. In the rom-com Irish Wish, Lohan plays Maddie, who is Maddie, down on her luck when the when the love of her life Maddie, when the love of her life gets engaged to her best friend while in Ireland for a destination wedding. Maddie wishes that she was the one marrying him and wakes up as the bride-to-be. Is this the man she thought was her true love really the one? Is the man she thought was her true love really the one that she's betrothed to? Or I don't know what's going on. Even though she's betrothed to someone else, or will she fall for someone else?
I'll probably watch it.
The movie's plot is reminiscent of Lindsay's other popular movies, Just My Luck and Freaky Friday. In Just My Luck, she starred alongside Chris Pine as the luckiest woman in New York City who trades luck with an unfortunate janitor. And Freaky Friday saw her and Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter and mother who swap bodies. So it's another something similar to that.
They should do Freaky Friday with Stallone.
Yeah.
Irish Wish will be available to stream on Netflix on March 15th.
That ain't you.
See? He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
That ain't you.
He figured it out.
That's the name of the movie?
Yeah, it's called That Ain't You.
That ain't you.
That ain't you.
That can't be you.
And then the follow-up that will be You're Better Than That.
You're better than that.
All right, let's do clips here. Drive Away Dolls is from the mind of Ethan Coen and meets all the wackiness of a Coen Brothers film. Here stars Margaret Qualley, Beanie Fieldstein, and Geraldine Viswanathan talk about a scene with power tools, a suction cup sex toy, and a famous fourth scene partner. Here we go.
Ricky, the dog, he wouldn't bark. And so the trainer had to get him to bark by speaking like Elle Woods because the dog used to be in Legally Blonde.
Like, just at the same time, me and Geraldine are holding all the stuff. We've got Beanie on the ground with the dildo in her face, sobbing, and you've got like a dog trainer.
Bruiser, where is Elle? And we were like, what is happening right now?
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know what's happening there.
Okay.
All I heard was dildo.
Oh, yeah.
Dildo in the face. And
So Drive Away Dolls hits theaters tomorrow.
All right, good.
Yay.
Here's our next clip. District Attorney Jack McCoy has been a pillar on Law and Order since 1994, and tonight he says his final farewell.
No!
Although it was an emotional goodbye in this clip, Sam Waterston admits that his final exit from the courtroom was surprisingly freeing.
The minute I was walking off the set, suddenly there was space in my head that I didn't even know there was, that had been occupied by the job forever.
I don't give a
Sam Waterston, Law and Order Farewell airs tonight on NBC.
Sam Waterston's one of my favorite actors. He's in he plays Nick Carraway in the Robert Redford version of The Great Gatsby.
Oh, yeah.
When he plays a character that's supposed to be likable and an everyman, he's great.
Excellent. All right, and that's the last of the entertainment report this morning for you. All right, we have a bunch going on today. What time is it? 7:05. Pearl Jam Song of the Day should be up and available for you to take a peek at, and therefore you will not only know what song it is, you'll know what hour it will play today, and that gets you way ahead of everybody else. So, yes, take a look now because you could end up getting tickets for September 9th at the Wells Fargo Center to see Pearl Jam. And make sure you enter to win tickets online as well, all right? So, in fact, you can text Pearl to 39333. We'll send you a link for the daily cheat sheet and all that stuff and everything you need to know. But it is now. The information is available. All right, we're going to take a break. We got several guests. We got a lot going on. I'll bring you up to speed on it all when we get back. So hang out with us, why don't you?
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Cardboard Classic is 1 week from tomorrow. God, that sounds wild to say, but it is. And I'd like to give you a heads up because it's not too late for you to not only go and enjoy all the things that we do there, but to actually participate in it because we've had some slots open up for the fastest sled category.
Those are routinely the easiest ones to put together.
Oh, yeah.
Easiest to put together. They're almost exclusively single-person sleds, toboggan-style type things. So we have a few slots that have opened up for the fastest category, and there's a prize. It's a $500 cash prize for that.
Yeah.
So why not? And you can put something together and sign up now at WMMR.com. So if you've been teetering on the edge of this, or you're already going and you're like, now I want to participate in it, you can do this.
They're the easiest to transport up there, and again, usually require the least amount of work.
Yep. So why not? And if you haven't, there are still, I think we're still taking signups for the other categories.
All of it until Sunday, yeah.
Until Sunday. And keep in mind, new category this year, Best Tito's Handmade Vodka Sled. There's $1,000. That's the same prize for the best design, the big one.
We've never offered that.
And from what I understand, there's only a handful of people have made Tito's sleds so far. So that's wide open for you right there.
Yeah. Well,
so go for it.
It came about sort of last minute. So if you jump on it, you have a good shot.
And I would like to point to our good friend Bert Kreischer. When he and his crew came to Cardboard Classic in 2020, they whipped something together that morning. We're like, you guys, it's gonna be so cute to watch you guys do this little thing. It was great.
It was awesome.
They pulled it off. They made it all the way down. Bert ripped off his shirt in front of the crowd. It was stupendous.
They built it in a friggin' RV.
Yeah. So you can do this. All right. Just go to WMMR.com for all the details. And with that, I think this is a good spot to do this. Casey had sent over a good friend, Sammy Vile, musician, Philadelphia musician, has written a Cardboard Classic song. Now, he sent over the video. I watched like 10 seconds of it, and I'm like, I'm going to stop right now. I want to experience this live on the radio. This is my reaction video for you.
Okay.
On the radio.
All right. So I commented after watching it, and I wrote, it makes me want to go and slap Depeche Mode for not doing it right the first time.
All right. Well, here we go. This is it. What does it have a title?
Oh God, what's the name of it?
Insta No Sad World?
Yes.
No sad.
No sad.
That's what he just posted.
No sad.
It says Insta No Sad World. That's what
Let's just go with
it
that.
says.
Okay.
So here we go. Let's do it.
A bunch of cardboard, ain't no plastic. Cardboard Classic. Build it sturdy or I'll bust my ass like Mr. Peanut, Mr. Peanut. Bought Gorilla Glue, be careful not to touch your wiener, not your wiener. Hello Kathy, tell me how's the traffic? Get me to the Cardboard Classic. And I found it kind of funny and frankly quite a mess. That dream in which I sharded was for real, but I digress. I find me quoting movies, Los Locos kick your ass.
Oh my God.
I'll see you on the mountain where there's never any sad road.
Isn't that great?
No sad road. There will be no sad road.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. And then the videos, they got this moody slow-mo.
It's very melancholy.
It's just, it's perfect.
The whole family is just so great and so talented. And just want to remind or let our listeners know that Sammy Vile's brother is Kurt Vile. Very famous musician.
Yeah.
You know, from the. I would love to be a part of that family.
You can be. They can adopt you.
Can they?
You just have to work on it.
All right.
Well, and the other brother, Paul, is also coming up to Cardboard Classic, and Paul, of course, will be bringing Jello shots.
He's the Jello shot guy.
Yeah, and so he texted me over the weekend, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want me to give away Jello shots?" I was like, "Well, sure." And he's like, "We can make prizes out of it." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know if we can do that, but you can do that.
Right.
And so, Paul and Sammy are both going to be up there next Friday. Yeah.
I love that they're from the area. I mean, they embellish everything they touch their hands to.
They're great dudes. They're really nice guys.
Thank you, Sammy. That's the best.
It's just fantastic.
We'll play it again.
It's
for
fantastic.
Sure. Most definitely. All right. So I wanted to talk about something else altogether. Marissa sent this to me. And I was in the studio and I mentioned this out loud, and Kathy's like, I've seen all of this. All right, so there's a woman who has a TikTok account, and she has documented her story about being married to a pathological liar. It's called Who the F Did I Marry?
And
liar whore, and you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning, at the beginning of each post that she puts out, she says, okay, part whatever, 57 or whatever many
It's
there
a
are.
50-part series.
50 part, so
Yep.
part 47 of Who the F Did I Marry?
Yeah, and they're like, 8 to 10 minutes long.
It's however long TikTok will let you post.
And it's done in story form. So it's essentially like these little chapters. And apparently she's getting, each video has, she's gotten over 122 million views.
Preston, last night
It's become compulsory for a lot of people to consume this.
Last night there was a listen party on TikTok for people.
What?
Yes.
Do you know why I think this resonates? I think we've all, and I certainly know stories within my own sphere of people who they're with someone and they're like, who the F are you?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what happened. And I think what is so entertaining about it, you want to continue to hear her stories because you're like, how did you not pick up on that? How did this happen? And he goes to such lengths with his lie, like beyond anything you have ever. I mean, it is like a movie. I actually have never seen a movie like this where, I mean, this guy goes, the lies that he tells and the extent that he goes to make her believe them is mind-boggling.
So this is, not someone who's changed over time, which you see people grow apart because somebody changes. This person lied about who they were from the very get-go.
Came in that way, yeah.
Just a few things. He had once a 40-minute conversation with no one. There was no one on the other end of the line.
Yeah.
40 minutes in front of her so that she would think that he
solidified the story.
He would have these long conversations with his brother and his real estate agent and all of these people.
So you've listened to it all at this point?
The majority of it. I have a few parts left.
I need details because
all right. I'll give you some. So in the video series, she calls him Legion.
Legion, which is the devil.
Yeah, a biblical character who is possessed by a swarm of demons.
And
so it's several different entities.
She was married to him. They got married. She was pregnant. She lost the baby. Yeah, so it was, to her, it was a real relationship.
So she talks about how their relationship grew and intensified through the pandemic, how they moved in together, how they eventually married in 2021, and then everything began to fall apart, and she called him in multiple lies. She met, they met on two different dating apps.
Where he had two different profiles with two different names, by the way.
They began dating, and then things got serious. Red flags of varying sizes soon began popping up. More than once, she says, Legion would refuse to show proof of funds to realtors while they were trying to buy a house together. She began to lose hope that they would ever move into a house together. And at one point, her name is Risa Tisa, by the way. She says she became pregnant with his child. She describes going to work and having some pains and then recognizing she was having a miscarriage. When she called him about this, he was unable to take her to the hospital, and one of her coworkers took her instead. She says he also lied about what he did for work. He had claimed to be the vice president of a condiment company.
Vice president of a condiment company.
They live in Georgia.
All right.
The amount of money he had, his relationship with his ex-wife, lied about this, and her children. He would also take fake phone calls with his employees and siblings, she says. And this covered about, she said, 2% of the many lies that he told her during their relationship. Eventually, she says she applied for a new job, needed his social security number to fill out an application. And when a background check was being completed on the two of them, she noted that the social security number that he put on her application was different from the one that he gave her when they got their marriage license. She looked into the new social security number and found out who he really was. And according to the information, he never lived in California. I guess he lied that he did.
Yeah, he said he was married. He had 2 stepchildren that he still kept in contact with in California.
So his work, Steve, was a temporary forklift driver.
Oh, man.
He said he was vice president. When she would call him at work, he would have like pretend conversations with his employees or his assistant.
So a quick question. So is this a serial pattern for him, or is this just, does she get the impression that this is a one-off with her?
No,
Okay.
yeah.
She says that his family members, once she found out about him with the social security number, she contacted family members. They knew about his habit of lying and did not speak to him. And less than a year into the marriage, she filed for divorce.
Wow.
And one of his daily conversations that he would have on the phone when there was no one on the other end was his brother, who supposedly lived in Philly. So I don't know if there is an actual brother that's from Philadelphia or not.
Or that was a lie.
Or if
How can you trust anything they've ever said? And by the way, I would love to hear if this type of story sounds familiar to you. Feel free to share, 215-263-WMMR. I can't imagine being in a long-term relationship or a serious relationship with someone, and then you start finding out that lie after lie after lie. Not just one big lie.
Right.
Lie after lie after lie after lie. Lies to cover lies. All that stuff. Pathological liars. 215-263-WMMR.
I know someone who's a sweet person, was in a marriage with someone who perceived this person as completely one way, and found out stuff very much akin to this, Preston, was going on. And what happens is, it's like the amount of therapy she's had to go through, the amount of like PTSD,
That's what this woman says too.
Because think of the person that, when you're with that person, this person has my back, or this is the person I can trust, and you realize it has all been a sham.
Yeah.
I mean, and Case, just a couple of details, because what I found was the detail that he went into and how far he would take the lie. So they had like multiple houses that they were supposed to buy, multiple cars. So they took the time to go with a realtor to different houses, look at houses. They talked about it when they would come home. Which one did you like? Which would be best for a family? Like, got to the point where they were supposed to be purchasing a house.
And all this time, he's a part-time forklift
Yes,
driver.
and he doesn't have
Kathy.
the money that he claims to have.
Somebody texted in, do you remember him saying that he played arena football in Philly?
Yes.
And grew up in Philly?
So he said that he played arena football. I think that was out in California. It wasn't in Philly.
Now, you know what would be the cherry on top of all this? If we find out that she is lying about all of this.
I thought that. I was like, could you imagine if she was the pathological liar?
Which is, by the way, is completely possible. But I know for a fact, whether this is an actual concretely provable story, it seems that it's probably pretty legit. I know, as I said, this friend of mine who has this scenario, and this is the real deal. Someone executing a faux life.
Here's Kathy, another text says, Kathy, the brother in Philly is real. That brother in Philly is real. But they haven't talked since 2015.
Right, I knew they hadn't.
Get that brother on the phone with us right now, because I want to hear about this.
Lunch at the Cardboard Classic.
Yeah. Wow. How dare people like that?
Yeah.
I'm curious if how much of it is malevolent in nature, how much of it is you have something mentally wrong with you and people need to straighten you out, but for whatever reason, I can't.
The guy who is known as the Great Imposter, or Catch Me If You Can, and there's holes in that story and stuff coming to light about that story. But the person who lives off playing imposter, I think this is a different sort of thing, and I mean, to the level that you're talking about, to the people that I know that have experienced it, I can't wrap my mind around the impetus for doing this.
Well, Steve, so Risa actually addresses that in her videos on TikTok, and she says that she married a pathological liar and a narcissist, and she said he got joy out of watching her get excited and then being brought down to like rock bottom.
Wow.
Yeah, she said like even with they went to buy this car, and she said he was presenting like he had all this money, and she had a normal life, but she said she lived paycheck to paycheck. She worked her job, and so she said she when he would take her to the BMW dealership or the Mercedes dealership or Audi dealership, he would say, "No, I want you in a nice car. You're pregnant. I want you and my child."
Did she explain how come she never? Did they have separate bank accounts? Did they?
Yeah, they did, because they met and got married pretty quickly.
Okay.
So but then there was a point where she said, "Show me your bank accounts." He did show her 2 of them, but he supposedly had this offshore account, whatever. But anyway, she said with the car, she got really excited. She was like, "Wow, I'm going to be in a nice car for the first time in my life."
Yeah.
And she said she thought that he got joy out of that, to watch her get so excited about something.
Real quick, Tex says other women are coming forward on TikTok confirming the story. Ex-wives are coming forward.
Oh, wow.
Here's somebody texting and saying, though, my sister married someone that lied about being in the military, even had stories about his dog being blown up at war.
What?
Thankfully, they're now
The old
divorced.
blowing up dog story.
So, Kath, what was the jump off point where she was like, "Hang on a second, things don't seem like what they seem"?
Yeah,
aren't
so
what they seem.
she says that she tells the whole story, even when things make her look bad. And she said she got to a point where she was like, "All right, let's see what lie this guy comes up with now." And that was like dealing with the cars in the house. And she said, it was COVID. We were quarantining together. There was nobody else. She said, I was, for the first time in my life, comfortable in not having to worry about how I was going to pay my bills. So he was living with her, but he was paying her bills.
Did
so
she
there
get
was some
concerned
money.
that weekend he spent on the International Space Station?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so she said she was comfortable and she kind of just let it go for a little while, and then obviously it got worse. She miscarried and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to go to some calls. I have Sandy on the line here. Hi, Sandy. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry to bother you at work.
Nah, we want to hear it. What's up, Sandy?
So my ex-son-in-law is a narcissist to the full extent. Same thing. They met on a dating app. He completely lied about everything. His job, he was supposedly a manager at this furniture warehouse, to find out that he was just a warehouse worker that barely made minimum wage.
Okay.
So that started him off on a bad note because she was pregnant. They ended up getting married right after the baby was born.
Hey, how soon did she find out he wasn't a manager? I mean, because you're talking about being pregnant and getting married. At some point, this stuff comes to light.
When they went to get their first apartment together, when he went to submit his paychecks, that's when she found out that he was not who he said he was. Well, his name was the same, but he didn't do what he said. He supposedly had a Range Rover that was ordered. He was waiting for it to come in.
He had a dog rover.
Yeah, they didn't even have that.
Yeah.
To find out he had so many DUIs, he had lost his license.
Oh, wow.
They moved down to Florida to try to work things out. That was a nightmare. Ended up moving back home, and it was just 10 years of lies.
10
years that she stuck that out. Oh, my God.
So what?
Only because of their daughter.
The baby, yeah. That
Sandy,
happens, man.
What was the absolute worst? What was the biggest lie he told?
That he eventually was working in construction, which he was. And that he had jobs down in New Jersey and he would have to stay there over the weekend. And she finally found out that he wasn't working at all and he was spending their savings on his girlfriend.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
My granddaughter is now in trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sees a psychologist because she has trauma. They basically diagnosed her with PTSD.
That's the nefarious part of this, of all the things. There are a multitude of things, but to specify on one thing, if you're talking about the collateral damage, the psychological damage of thinking someone is honest and straight up, or just somebody who's supportive or in your life, or got your back, and they turn out to be just complete sociopaths.
Yep. All right.
Exactly. And it's a shame because she loves her father.
Oh, wow.
But she doesn't trust him.
Yeah,
No, I get it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it. So, this gal's story is not a complete anomaly. Unfortunately, there are people out there that, and sometimes they are like narcissists and don't believe they're doing anything wrong.
Yeah, or like Kathy was describing they're going to be so impressed when I when I do this and when they hear about this, but no backing.
Yep. Let me see. I will go to Tim. Hi, Tim. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So my mom's a pathological liar.
Your mother is okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my sister was at her house, and they both had their credit cards compromised, and my sister was on my mom's phone. Well, my sister sees text messages coming through, and it's from a guy, and so she clicks on it, and she starts scrolling through the messages. Apparently, she's sending this guy thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh my God!
Oh man!
So she's on disability, so she gets hardly any money. So she's sending him all her money, and then she turns around and asks us. She asks my father for money. And it's been a can of worms ever since we found out. Apparently, she's been manipulating the grandchildren to give her money.
Oh, wow.
Friends, family, basically everyone. And the more we learn, the more we find out she's been lying about stuff.
So, Tim, she's lying and manipulating to you. It sounds like the guy she's with is lying and manipulating her.
Yeah, is she being scammed?
And this isn't the first time. I'm not even sure this is the second time. She's been getting scammed a lot.
Man, that's just a whole weird other thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's
Sorry to hear
also
that.
a victim. I mean, she's a perpetrator and a victim at the same time. Is that what you're
She
saying?
is, but she knows enough to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
She's what they call a
Because
perp
when my
victim.
sister found out, she stopped talking to her. And then every time somebody tries to confront her, she either doesn't talk to them or she avoids them.
I think there's a thing, and maybe this is what you're experiencing, Tim, with her, is that you start to go down that hole. And then, lies to cover lies, and then you're just stuck. And that's the way you live now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Sorry to hear about that, bud. Appreciate you sharing. All right, we'll go next to Christine. Hi, Christine.
Hi, love you guys. Love your show.
Oh, thank you so much, Christine. All right, so is this, were you with a pathological liar at some point?
I was actually very recently with a pathological liar, yes.
No.
My car had broken down at a Wawa, and this guy ended up saying that he was going to fix it. He did end up fixing it initially. It turns out, as soon as he looked at my car, he started looking at my friends' cars, my family's cars. They all ended up paying him for doing the job. However, the job never got done.
Oh.
And I could kind of tell that something was off, so I decided to break things off. Still not getting the money. So he had made up this whole story of his life, and I decided to do some digging, and it was all false.
Wow. Any outrageous claims, Christine?
He claimed to have full custody of his daughter. His daughter was not with him for the holidays because she was somewhere else on his dime. Turns out that all was false. The mother has sole custody.
So you see, these are shades. I think they look for shades of truth. So so they give them an out. So like for example, just to clarify, Christine, when you said work on your family and friends' cars, was it things like oil changes that he wasn't actually doing?
Yes, stuff like that. At one point, my girlfriend, her motor ended up breaking, and he volunteered to buy her a brand new motor, which was about $1,400. She did not give him all that money, luckily, because the money that she did give him, we never got returned.
So what did he do? Did he just say, "Oh, I forgot about your motor"?
Yeah.
No, it was more excuses. Like, I'd be like, hey, can we meet up this day? Can we do this that day? And it was always, tomorrow doesn't work. Something came up.
Right.
I think Christine, what you're describing is the kind of the way that a lot of people who are not, say, on the dramatic level that this story is at, they kind of live in that zone where like
Yeah, but it was.
I missed a caller. Oh, I left the motor on your doorstep. Someone was taking it.
But with this guy, I mean, her story, the way the excuses go, it was one thing after another after another. It was constant.
Well, and then on top of that, while doing my digging, I also found out that he was engaged the entire time we were dating, unbeknownst to me.
Well, there you go.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you got invited to the wedding.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. Appreciate it. I remember one time I was working at this bar. It was I was doing an appearance there, and I was friends with the DJ. And I was talking to this guy. It was early in the evening. People were just filing in, and I've just started striking up conversation. You know, it was part of my job to walk around and talk to people. I was talking to this guy, and he starts to tell me, and it was at the time, Steve, it was shortly after the Waco Branch Davidians,
right?
Incident. Yeah, that happened, and there's that famous footage of the ATF agents on the roof, and they're being shot at from inside the house. And this guy's telling me, I was talking to the guy, what do you do for a living? I'm an ATF agent. I'm like, whoa, oh my God, wow, that's pretty wild. And he proceeds to tell me, have you seen the footage on TV of the guy
oh my gosh.
laying on the roof and the gunshots are fighting? Yeah, that's me.
That's him.
What? And I'm like, get out of here.
Wow.
Oh my God, wow. And I'm asking him all these questions. And I go back to Todd, the DJ, and I'm like, dude, did you know this guy over there? He goes, oh my God. He goes, dude, that guy lies about everything. He lies about everything. And I'm like, what a big, gigantic lie.
How many
to
years
throw
ago?
around. Oh, it was 30 years ago.
So this is pre-Google search.
Oh, yeah. You can
quickly
get away
find
with
the
it.
name of that, that FBI agent.
Yeah. But that was a whopper.
What leads you down that path?
I don't know.
To have to lie to that. Is it insecurity? Is it like, were you raised that way? Like, is it something innate about you? Like, how do you get to that point of being such a pathological liar that almost everything that comes out of your mouth is questioned by everybody around you and you can't be trusted at all?
I think it's been diminished greatly by internet searches, but I'll tell you this. I was sitting in a limo and President Kennedy was behind me. We're in Dealey Plaza.
Oh, my God.
What?
You've never shared this story.
Go on.
Sounds familiar.
I don't want to go into a lot of it.
By the way,
it was a downer.
Nick saw a text from someone. He asked him to call him. We're probably not going to get to them, but they said that they were a pathological liar. They said,
here you go.
Yeah, they said, I used to be like that. I thought I was a failure and my life was boring to other people. And then he says, luckily, my wife forgave me. I even had 2 phones to have text conversations with myself.
What?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, the on the phone, the 40-minute conversation on the phone with somebody that wasn't on the other line.
Pure fiction.
Yes.
You know, though, in a way, you could work as an improv teacher. You know, if you're that level.
You got skills.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Let me go to Josh. Hi, Josh. You're on the air, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. All right, you got a story to share about someone, right?
Yeah, so I had a coworker. I worked with them for about a year. Just got let go recently. He lied about everything.
All right.
He lied about he had a friend in Oklahoma, and he flew out there and beat him up, put him in the hospital, and then flew back that same night to come to work the next morning, and he hit himself in the face in the car just so that he could prove that he got into a fight.
Oh, my God.
Think about the framing of that story. I have a friend in Oklahoma. I flew out to beat him up.
Yeah.
That's my friend. So he actually he punches himself to give himself damage to add to the lie of the fight.
He hit himself in the face before walking in the building just so that he could say that he got into a fight.
Oh, my God.
And somehow we tried to ask, he like, we even asked to see like the plane ticket, and he just came up, I don't remember exactly what his excuse was, but he came up with another excuse as to why he didn't have a plane ticket. He used to lie about like his kid going in the hospital so that he could miss work.
Okay.
And he lied about like he would make up these crazy stories about like his kid having to get medevac by helicopter to CHOP and stuff like that, and being upset that he missed the helicopter ride because his wife went on it.
Josh, there's like a level of Munchausen by proxy with a lot of this stuff, where they like
they get the attention.
They get the attention.
Yep. And it says here on my screen that he lied about having cancer.
Yeah, when he got fired a couple weeks ago, he tried to tell a bunch of the guys that he had cancer. he told us he was missing work because he had COVID for about 2.5 weeks. And when somebody approached him about it, because he was giving everyone different stories, he then came forward and said that he had cancer, and then told 3 other guys that he didn't have cancer.
You got to remember who you told you had cancer and who you told you didn't have cancer. It was Covancer. It's a hybrid.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's nuts. All right, Josh.
Unbelievable.
Thank you. I want to get at least one more call because we don't have much time here. But let me go to this one. I'm going to go to Steve. And thank you for everybody who called in. I apologize we can't get to you. Hi, Steve. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Well, I had a great niece who was a pathological liar, and she followed that pattern of, like, if you're going to lie, make it big.
Okay.
Because the bigger the lie, I guess people think you can't be making this up.
Okay.
She lied about having a boyfriend who then turned into a fiance as she's planning a wedding, except no one could ever meet him because he had some condition that kept him in the hospital for months at a time, which was compounded by the fact that he came from a rich family in Bavaria, and his parents, parents were murdered in their castle. So the rich aunt was the one who would be looking out for him and paying for her wedding gown made of Swarovski crystals.
See, the specificity,
right?
The specificity. It's like, why would they go to that great length? It has to be real. They had the crystals.
There was one time that my sister, her grandmother, was in the hospital, and she's there, and she tells me he's there, hospitalized at the same time. I said, oh, good, I get a chance to meet him. No, you can't. I'm not talking to him right now for whatever reason. And I'm like, of course you're not. And
wow.
So that whole chapter goes away. You go, flash forward a year later, her brother calls me and tells me she had gone on television and posed as a Gold Star widow and talked about her husband. There was a charity that gets wreaths from all over the country and brings them to Arlington Cemetery. She was the local voice of that or whatever. She never was married. The guy didn't even exist.
Oh, my God.
And what she doesn't know is that Arlington has an online searchable database, so her lie was caught right away. As soon as the interview was over, the phone started ringing at the TV station and said, this woman lied. You better check. Like, they didn't vet her at all.
Oh. Wow.
Her on the air. Yeah.
By the way, this is Steve, right? Our friend Steve?
Yeah,
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Steve, you have the best. And this is amazing. But think again, the specificity, you wonder what would happen were someone who does this to turn their talents towards script writing.
Yeah. Seriously,
or become a novelist, right?
Yeah.
Steve, is she getting psychological help?
She had his name, his rank, the
my
section
God.
of Arlington he was buried in, all of this stuff. And it was just pathological, not a financial fraud, because she never did any of this to get any money. I guess it was attention. I don't know.
Was it a little narcissism? Did you get that vibe from her?
Well, yeah. I mean, her mother, my niece, was also pathological. Like, we all question whether or not her mother ever actually had cancer, which is really awful to think. But we're not quite sure, because not only did she have cancer, a few months later, her cancer got cancer. And
she got double cancer.
She didn't even look sick.
Casey had asked Steve if she ever reached out to try to get help for her problem. Or, of course, admitting you have a problem would be the first step, but...
No, her mother even defended her and said the interview on TV was taken out of context. I'm like, what? It was on TV.
It was right there on TV.
God.
This brings to mind the Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Bud.
You know that whole story?
Yeah.
The faking that the daughter has cancer, is putting the daughter in for like oral surgery and procedures to get done to sell the story. It's
Steve, I'm thinking about Romy and Michelle saying, I invented Post-its or whatever. And now, like, you Google that and you know the answer to it in 4 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, but, jeez.
All right, well, anyhow, this woman, her name is Risa Tisa, and she's got a series on TikTok called Who the F Did I Marry? And tells the story of this guy who she ended up marrying was just lie. Kathy said it's very compelling.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to it all and, kind of got sucked in. It's interesting. If you're in the car, you want to listen to something, it's a good thing to listen to.
All right, we got to take a break. We're going to come back in a second. Bizarre file stories, and I've told you I have one that is just horribly disgusting, and we'll save that one for last. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
After traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Nifty 50s is here this morning, and they brought by a bunch of good stuff. Milkshakes, breakfast sandwiches, French toast.
Ew.
I am going to give away a $50 gift card now because by the time I'm done with the bizarre file, you may have lost your appetite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right, do it now then.
We're going to take caller number 12 at 215-263 WMMR. We'll set you up. 10-time Best of Philly winner, Nifty 50s, famous for their mouth-watering burgers, fresh cut fries, hand-dipped milkshakes, handcrafted sodas, and they have 8 locations. You can visit nifty50s.com to find one near you.
Love them.
Our area. All right, let's do this thing. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Horizon Services. Horizon's licensed plumbers have same-day 24/7 solutions, plus they're offering $50 off any repair. You can schedule your visit today at horizonservices.com/WMMR. I'm going to save the gnarly story for the end.
Okay.
We'll start with this one, though. A 22-year-old New Hampshire hiker, who officials said made poor choices, was rescued on Saturday from Mount Washington amid dangerous winter weather conditions, including high winds, the strongest winds ever recorded. Were at Mount Washington, and temperatures as low as negative 52 degrees.
Oh, holy crap.
The call came from the hiker around 11:50 a.m., reporting that he fell, had an injury, and needed help. Poor reception limited the information that the 911 call could obtain. Yeah, but GPS coordinates showed the man was off the trail in a drainage ravine west of the West Side Trail. Officials said with little information to go on, a rescue response team was put together with a plan to use the mountain's cog railway to get rescuers up the mountain using a special train with a snowblower mounted on the front to get up the West Side Trail.
Jesus.
As crews were responding, a second call came in from the hiker, but again, they couldn't hear him very well. On a third call, emergency responders were able to determine that he was no longer at the original location, but has made his way to Lakes in the Clouds hut and was...
I've been there.
Was in the building's emergency shelter, still in need of help. When the rescuer reached the West Side Trail and began making their way to the emergency shelter, sustained winds were 90 miles per hour.
Oh, my God.
Sustained winds.
I hope he was wearing something like a hoodie.
There was a wind chill of negative 52 degrees and an ambient temperature of negative 9 degrees. The conditions did not allow for exposed skin and required proper gear and experience to survive in.
It's insane.
The first crew of rescuers arrived at the emergency shelter at 6:17 p.m. where they determined the 22-year-old was not injured but suffering from hypothermia, wearing layers of frozen clothes and frozen hiking shoes. It took 3 hours to slowly warm the hiker up. The crews and the rescue hiker arrived back at the base at 10:50 p.m. where he was treated by ambulance for hypothermia and frostbite. The 22-year-old refused recommendations to go to a hospital and was brought to his vehicle at about 11:38 p.m. So he was about 12 hours in the full ordeal.
Right. Doesn't want to go to the hospital.
Fish and Game said the hiker put himself and the lives of his rescuers at risk with his poor choices. He did not have proper gear and equipment, weather planning, or proper critical decisions in order to keep himself out of harm's way and moving in the right direction on a dangerous mountain range. He saw other groups that turned around and said, the weather isn't worth it, don't go.
He figured he'll go.
And he went ahead and went.
What do they know?
Yeah, I mean, he put so many other people at risk. It's just a selfish behavior at that point.
Yep. And so, Casey, you'd been to that shelter?
Yeah, I hiked up the Lion's Head Trail, and so that's, I mean, there's a couple of different places you can stop at, but that is kind of like a lodge. And they have like a spring there. And so I filled my water up there. And that actually at that lodge is where I decided, excuse me, we weren't supposed to hike the whole mountain that day.
Right.
And we got up to that lodge, and that's where I decided, I'm like, I'm not doing this all over again tomorrow.
Decidedly different weather, right?
I went in August.
Yeah.
And it was difficult in August.
Police on Long Island are searching for 3 suspects who allegedly stole more than $600 worth of ice cream from a 7-Eleven last week.
Ice cream is very good.
The police released images of the trio thereafter in the February 12th robbery in Huntington Station. The trio entered the convenience store around 8:20 p.m. and specifically sought out cartons of Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Well, I think you could make a case for that, Preston. You're a fan.
It's definitely my favorite. And it's expensive, too. A total of $640 worth of Haagen-Dazs was stolen.
Don't you want money? No.
According to police, an amount that would easily equate to dozens of containers of ice cream. The group fled in a silver Nissan Rogue, and no injuries were reported, and police are asking for you to call if you have any tips on this.
You fellas sure like ice cream.
A woman charged with 22 pages worth of felonies and misdemeanors was arrested in Columbus last week.
You won.
Ahoka Keith, also known as Carol Ann Sumner, was charged by the police in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, with 322 felonies and 327 misdemeanors.
I know it's illegal, but there should be some sort of plaque or something.
Relating to the theft of thousands of dollars from a relative.
Yeah, you're a scumbag, but you won the award.
Police said she is an over-the-road truck driver with ties across the U.S. A couple of weeks later, Columbus police detectives and patrol officers arrested her after a request for assistance from the Spring Township Police.
So she's like a real-life Large Marge.
So, yeah, totally. Steve Palmer, and she looks a little bit like it, too.
Yeah.
Steve Palmer, a criminal defense attorney with over 28 years of experience, said he's handled many cases, but not with as many charges as is in this case. Said each individual act can be its own separate felony, and we see this all the time. We see it often in federal court indictments where there's white-collar crime or bank fraud, and each time there's a transaction that's fraudulent, that can be a separate felony.
When you're rap sheet can be turned into a coffee table book.
Yeah, but it's like almost 700 crimes.
Wow.
So she is, the judge set bond at $100,000. All right, what time is it here? All right, let's do.
Yeah, it's time.
All right, let's get right to it.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
All right, if you're eating,
Is this it?
put down the spoon.
Hang on.
the one.
All right,
Let me take a sip of my milkshake.
Yeah.
All right, it took a few months, but a Florida man finally found out what was bothering him. Jacksonville doctors removed 150 live bugs in the larva stage from the nose and sinuses of a cancer survivor earlier this month.
What the hell?
It gets better. The unidentified man had been feeling off since October, but it wasn't until his face and lips swelled up on February 9th that he sought help at the Florida Memorial Hospital. He said,
Something's wrong.
He said, I started getting nosebleeds, constant nosebleeds. I couldn't even get up to go to the bathroom without my nose starting to bleed. And things got really weird at the hospital. He said, when I went in for the examination, the doctor says, I see movement.
Oh my God.
So he had to be feeling that movement, correct?
Dr. David Carlson said that he examined the man's nose with a camera only to discover dozens of bugs feeding on the inside of the nose and sinus cavity and shedding tissue and excrement, which is what spurned the man's inflammation.
So they're taking a dump in his nose.
Oh, yeah.
But won't you come home, Bill Bailey?
Carlson said size-wise, there's variations, but the larger ones were as big as the end of my pinky.
Holy hell.
There were certain larvae inside the nose that were scurrying around and looking for places to feed, and others that had burrowed into tissue. Carlson said that
it was like a resort for them.
That his team tried to remove the bugs with a suction, but when that got clogged, they used different instruments to pluck them out, and those little buggers did not want to get evicted.
It's a resort, but you should be playing Buster Poindexter and play that sound effect as well, because they're having a great time in there.
Graphic footage shows the gruesome bugs crawling inside of the man's face and their stomach churning extraction. Carlson explained they were right up against his skull base, right under the brain. Had they gotten through that, it could have killed him. The bugs were sent to an epidemiologist for identification. The man hypothesized that the parasites staged their invasion after he'd handled dead fish. He said, I know that I have to change my lifestyle as far as I handle fish.
Yeah, maybe I should give up handling the dead fish.
He said, before I would rinse my hands in the river, and now I'll use cleaner to do a better job and not touch my nose or my hand.
There were some poor choices.
Carlson said that in his lengthy career as an ear and nose and throat specialist, he had not seen cases like this documented in the U.S. The rare condition is called nasal myiasis, which is an infestation of fly larvae.
So they were about to burrow into his brain.
Yeah. The Florida patient had a cancerous tumor removed from his nose 30 years ago, and that meant he had open spaces in his nasal cavity and weakened immune system.
Yeah, we could live here.
He was given a special anti-parasitic rinse for his nose.
Jeez.
And now he's expected to make a full recovery.
That's amazing. He went through all that. He's going to make a full recovery?
Dude, 150 larvae were inside his nose, living in his nose, feeding off of it.
Oh, horrendous.
Does that make you happy to hear that, Kathy?
Not happy.
You love stuff like that.
You know what, though?
That's what I have in the bizarre file. What?
I still have an appetite.
Okay.
You're still good.
Maybe I oversold it. All right.
No.
you didn't.
That's
No, you're good.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment, and we're going to get Brian Posehn on the program. He's going to be at City Winery a little later on. Our buddy John Heffron. We'll check in with him, and we have other giveaways. Stay with us.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Upon further inspection, it does say the clouds won't come in until like 1 o'clock today. So
On
maybe
further
it's slightly right, but I just thought it was going to be cloudy all day. We only have a couple of minutes with our guest. He's at the airport.
I know.
So
he's
we
a pilot as well.
He's a pilot. We've got to get to him now. He's got to get these people to their destination.
Absolutely.
No, he's got to get to Philadelphia. He's got a show tonight at 7:30, City Winery, one night only. And since the graphic of his name on his social media post looks like the logo from Poison, we are going to play this as we bring him on board. I thought we were playing something.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, dude.
No.
How about this one? Little up tempo?
Yeah.
Clock's ticking. There you go.
Yes.
My bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Posehn is joining us this morning. Hey, Brian.
Hey, guys.
Hey, sorry about that. We didn't mean to start off with Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
The other one was more like it.
Yeah, definitely.
Somber mood.
I know, right? And that's definitely not a Brian Posehn show. You don't go that way. Yeah. Hey, by the way, where are you? And you're getting ready to fly here now?
I'm at LAX.
God.
Just about to get on a plane.
The good thing about that airport is that it's just a small airport and not a lot of traffic through it. It's every time I've been at LAX, it's a nightmare. How's it looking this morning?
It's already crazy. And what is it? 5:30 here. So
Well, it's got to be because everybody heading east has to take a freaking red eye, or some ridiculously early flight to get here.
Yeah. I wonder if they all waked and baked.
We know one person who probably did. No, but we welcome you, back to Philly. Has it been a little while since you've been in town?
It has, yeah. It's been a couple of years. I used to always do a club there, but we're trying the City Winery. I'm doing a bunch of them in St. Louis tomorrow. So
awesome.
Yeah, they're great venues. Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. A couple of my friends have done them, so I was like, okay, I'll try.
Well, obviously you're one of our favorite people because you're the same kind of geek into the same sort of stuff that we are, and we love that. But again, people may be unaware of your vast comedic history, and your stand-up is fantastic. So when you work on a routine, when you're putting one together, what is the process? Are you slavishly picking things apart, or do you go more on instinct? What goes into the Brian Posehn comedy experience?
Well, the last couple of specials I've done, I start off with an idea of like, I'm going to start with this premise and then just go from there and build out. But that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. It's
working towards another special.
Yeah, I'm still doing a couple of things from the last show, but a bunch of new material. But this year, I got in a car accident and my dog died. So I'm talking about those things.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I know. And listen, you brought me to tears with your posts on with your dog. It was in December, correct?
Yeah. I'm still not feeling great.
No.
Now, real quick though, I did because I wasn't aware of the story. The dog didn't die in the car accident with.
No.
Okay, so it said the way you put it together, it sounded like one and the same. I'm like, oh my god.
I know. I did that once on stage too, and I was like, no.
That's what happens when you let the dog drive. It's always going to be problematic.
Exactly.
No, but when you lose a pet, again, we're all pet people, all animal lovers. It's a family member, and it crushes you.
That's such a kick in the nards. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'll play Every Rose Has its Thorn one more time while we're talking about this. No, but it's terrible, and we've all had it happen, and we all console each other.
And material from it. So, and then now we have a puppy, which is living with a crazy person.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just adopted a senior, 9.5 years, and so I'm kind of thinking we're going to be going the senior rescue route for a while, because puppies are wonderful, but you can never.
They're sort of potty trained. But if they're seniors, they might be having problems with that.
Yeah. Are you the kind of person who leaves shoes on the floor? Because that could be problematic.
Our dog does this thing where she thinks she's getting away with something, like it's a Bernese Mountain Dog puppy.
Wow.
I'm so jealous.
Energy, and she'll take your shoe, look at you in the eye, like mad dog you, and then run out of the room. Like, I dare you to do something about this. Like, this is happening.
I'm really jealous, by the way, because that's the next dog on my list. What's her name?
The new one is Willie. I just lost. We got the same breed. Like, I didn't learn a lesson, but but they're the best.
And you donate to animal rescue charities in honor of Mavis, right?
Mavis is the one I just lost.
Yeah,
you made it to 9.5.
Yeah.
But the thing about all dogs have short lifespans, and then Bernese have like the shortest. They usually only live to 8 years, so it's like, haha.
Yeah, I've never heard it put that way, Brian. But it's the truth, and I always tell people this: unless you're like one of these people who buys like a cockatiel that'll live 2,000 years, you're going to outlive your pets. But the thing is, would you ever give up the joy of having them?
No.
Yeah.
You just try to make their lives the best, for the 8 years you get or whatever.
Right. Well, listen, I know we have a limited time with you. I want to ask, because you wrote so many Deadpool comics, and you are, obviously greatly associated with Deadpool. The trailer for the third movie came out. What's your instinct? What's your vibe on how this is shaping up? Have you seen it? Any take?
Yeah, I'm excited. And Ryan added me on social media, and so I'm like, he saw me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still one of my favorite characters I've ever worked with, so I'm rooting for it. I want it to be funny and violent the way Deadpool movies are. So
Right. Totally. And there was that worry about, the Disneyfication, but it seems like he kind of put his foot down. And, you can't argue with, I think the original Deadpool at the time was the highest grossing R-rated movie in history. So
they've all done really well for what they are. So.
Right. So, and then Dungeons and Dragons, obviously, and the Nerd Poker, all that going strong.
We just started a new campaign, and then I've got some comic books coming out through Image independently. So, this is going to be a busy year. I'm doing a bunch of Comic-Cons and that kind of thing. So,
are there hope for people who are full-grown adults who've never, ever trudged into the world of Dungeons and Dragons to pick it up in their life at some point?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so easy. We've taught a ton of people. Like, we always have guests on my show, so I've had actors, and I just, especially actors, I'm like, you like improv? Like, that's what this is. Like, just make something up. And like people like Tom Lennon have taken to it, and he's really funny. Yeah.
What did you think of, we haven't talked to you, or maybe we have, or I forgot, but the movie that came out with Chris Pine, how did you think they got it tonally?
Oh, I actually really enjoyed that. It felt like a game, especially once it got going. I was like, oh man, yeah, this actually feels like a dungeon master is running it instead of the writer wrote it.
It was fun. It felt fun, and it felt sort of freewheeling, but it felt like it had a purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm blasting these at you because I want to find out your opinion. The trailer for Borderlands, did you see that?
I just saw it. I don't know much about that game, but I just asked my son, have you played it? He's like, yeah, we'll see it. I have a teenager in the house, so
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like, in a lot of ways, created in your image, but there's some points where there's a divergence. But Kate Blanchett in Borderlands, she's got her cred from Thor Ragnarok, Lord of the Rings. She's got this. She played Tar too. She can transcend all this stuff. Who knew she had this range? Have you ever worked with her?
No.
Yeah. Well, if you do, let us know. Yeah, because we love her.
And any acting things coming up in the near future?
No, things are just starting to pick up because of the strike.
Yes.
I'm doing some independent movies, but nothing I can talk about yet. That's coming out soon.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, because you're flying out now. Your show's at 7:30 tonight. You sleep on the plane? How does that work for you?
I'll be asleep in like 45 minutes. Okay, all right. Before the plane takes off.
All right, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
First class?
None of your business.
No, he says he flies business.
Because I'm tall.
Yeah,
I'm not as tall as you are.
You have to.
And I know what it's like.
That's the thing. I feel gross about it, but I fly so much that I use my miles, and I'm frugal about it. But yeah,
don't apologize for that, because honestly, the truth of the matter is, that if you get, I've said this to somebody, like if you're, to everybody, if they save up or whatever, if you're flying to some place where if you arrive and you're useless when you get there, then you've actually wasted money or you're losing money. So because it's impossible to sleep in a seat upright, jammed in. And I have difficulty even in like the pods and stuff like that and all the amenities. So I've got to do everything I can to try to get some semblance of rest. So yeah, and you're a big guy.
I'm huge. I'm an ice troll, and I'm
what you should do is, honestly, at a certain point, just hire a vet to the same way your dog would travel.
Yeah, just knock you out. Well, that's the wake and bake aspect of things, too.
I'd be okay. Just put me in cargo if I could stretch out.
Right.
Indica, and you're good. All right. Well, listen, we'll let you get on the flight and make your way to Philly. You're long overdue, so we're glad you're making it back into town. But no, we're happy you had a chance to check in before you head out.
Yeah, man. Thanks for everything.
Absolutely. So, City Winery tonight, 7:30. Brian saying, let me play that theme song again. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
No, actually, we got to do this. Nothing but a good time. All right, Brian, fly safe. We'll see you soon, okay, man?
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
All right, we'll see you. Brian Posehn.
He's so fun. He cracks me up, just his voice.
Oh, yeah.
When he plays his same kind of character. I keep harkening back to that Jenny McCarthy bit that he was in, where you were sure, like, she's working at this office, and he's the male guy, and you think, oh, he's stalking her. It turns out she's stalking him, and it's hilarious.
Was it Just Shoot Me that he was on?
He was also on Just Shoot Me, yeah. And he was also on Big Bang Theory. He was, he was a geologist that worked with the other scientists.
Yeah, I didn't see Big Bang Theory, but I'm sure he'd be perfect.
Just great.
Yeah, nice. All right. Well, listen, we have John Efron coming up, right?
Yeah.
And is he at 9?
He's
or
at
is
9.
He after 9.
No, he's at 9, after 9, whatever. But he's not like on a strict.
He's not at the airport.
He's not.
He's at the bus station.
Well, I'm curious. Should I stop and chat about something now, or should we go and talk to him and then chat about something after him?
You want to know if you can play your new character, the Chatterer.
The Chatterer.
I wonder if I have something.
Chatty bang bang.
You know who wrote that?
No.
Ian Fleming.
Oh, well, yeah.
Ian Fleming, who wrote
the song?
That was written by Anthony Newley and Leslie Brickuse.
Newley and Leslie
I think I might be right.
That was quick.
I invented Post-its.
I think it is Anthony.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
funny
right.
that you would know that.
Because I have no life. That's the perfect example of the non-entity that I am, that I think I know the answer to. Who wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Team?
Okay.
You got it.
Would you say Irwin Kostal?
No.
He did the music.
Anthony Newley.
Okay.
He wrote Dr. Doolittle's theme.
Hold on a second. I'll bet you their names are in there somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this what we're talking about?
Ian Fleming wrote the book.
Yep.
Yes. I knew that.
All right. We're talking about the song then?
Oh, yes. Okay, here we go.
Harry Ballsack, Harry Ballsack.
Oh, yeah.
Ballsack, Harry Ballsack.
They wrote the Harry Ballsack lyrics.
This is from the stage play.
My Harry Ballsack, Casey boy. And when you my Harry Ballsack, I'll enjoy. Beware, it's Harry down there.
I was
He
wrong.
smells a bit like cheese. My Harry Ballsack, oh it, won't you please? My Harry Ballsack, oh it, Casey, please.
We had to finish it.
beautiful.
It was written by the Sherman brothers.
The Sherman, of course, Bobby and Rick.
Yeah, Bobby and Ricky Sherman.
Oh,
You remember?
I mean, they
The
were,
Sherman boys. So did you guys ever see the movie?
Yeah, many
It's
times.
delightful.
Yeah.
Delightful.
Although, watch it now. It's a lot longer than you may remember.
It's 4.5 hours.
No, it's not
No,
4.5
how
hours.
long is it?
But as opposed to when you watch like a kid's movie now, you can kind of zip right through them. They move very quickly. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is great. My kids loved it. But I remember one night we were watching it. We're like, this is taking forever.
Yeah. Finish already.
And the songs are very, very long.
Oh, it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a pretty lengthy.
That's like Dune.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the reviews are out on Dune Part 2. Mm-hmm. And really good.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
They say it's very similar to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It must be similar to
I
that.
don't know what Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's
It is about these warring houses on different planets.
Right. And it's
Okay.
these
No,
giant
that's
worms.
Dune.
Oh, that's Dune.
Right.
No, it's about an inventor and his kids, and he makes all these goofball inventions, and
Right.
eventually he tinkers around with this car. They find it, they're about to crash it, and he wants to keep it. He sees something in it, and then
It could fly.
They find out that it has all these abilities.
Okay.
But did it really? You know,
Yeah.
it's maybe a bit of a dream. But anyhow, yeah.
He gets a social disease that renders, he starts to have dementia.
Yeah. Yeah.
He dies the way Al Capone did. He's in a robe.
Social disease.
But the engine makes a sound. It bam 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 bam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bam 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 bam.
It had
So they
originally
called it-
made-
They named it Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It actually made initially in the movie, Preston, the sound of the beginning of the song Subdivisions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bam 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 bam.
All right, Steve, I know you're going to get this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You mentioned Ian Fleming. In Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, what James Bond stalwart also appears in the movie?
Okay, James Bond stalwart also, is it Gert Frobe?
What is a stalwart?
Somebody who shows up in a lot of different things.
Okay, thank
Actually,
you.
Steve, there are two. Gert Frobe is one. That was not the one I was
And
thinking.
Leland Maxwell?
Desmond Llewellyn.
Desmond Llewellyn, who played Q.
Q.
Yes.
Oh, and he's in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Yep.
Call now with your favorite Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
So
moments.
Gert Frobe played Goldfinger, and if you watch the original Goldfinger, every bit of his dialogue is dubbed by another actor.
Gert Thobe.
Frobe.
Gert Frobe. Who is Derb Thurbin?
Dirk Thurbin was Gert Frobe's tailor. He actually invented simonizing.
Oh.
Can of Simonize.
What is Simonize?
They're watching
Is it
you.
wax?
Car wax.
They see your
Okay.
every move.
All right.
No, that's
Simonize.
private eyes. That's private eyes. And we've gone
Yes.
off the rails completely. Oh yeah, this is the original Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty.
Yeah.
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. This was a song. All right, if we're going down. I was not a Rush fan.
This is what brought you around?
I came into the Rush store through this song, and then I hung a left, and I went, oh, it turns out I like all that stuff I didn't think I liked. And then I moved forward, and it's been a love affair ever since.
Sorry, I'm air drumming.
Yeah.
I liked the phrasing. I went through the Rush door.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to put it. Steve.
This should be an album, right?
Yeah, I went through the Rush door.
What is that? What band has it?
What? I'm sorry. What?
What is the band? What is the classic album or band that has in the door? Something with the door. It's a door.
In through the
It's a
outdoor?
door.
Through the green door.
Through the green door.
No.
Behind the green door is a
Behind the green door is
That's what it was.
porn.
In through the outdoor.
What's that?
That is
Well, Pretzel line from Raspberry Beret from
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, all right.
In through the outdoor.
But they got that from Zeppelin?
I don't know.
Purple
but
Rain?
that's a Zeppelin, correct? Yes.
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. We love you. And our pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang loves us too. High, low,
Speaking of
and
James
low,
Bond movies.
chitty chitty bang bang.
bang, bang, chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Our fine
It's
four-fender
delightful.
friend.
Do you think kids now would like it?
My kids loved it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's when they were very young.
Right. You have to be kind of stupid.
They got a little older, and then they didn't. It wasn't as appealing any longer.
Do you think young kids these days would appreciate Oppenheimer?
No.
Only if you watch it in sections.
Right.
Segments.
By the way, I
the
watched,
sex scenes I love.
Yeah.
It's available for free via Peacock, I think now. Either way, I watched it over the weekend again because I saw it in the theater, and I had I enjoyed it more the second time. But the problem is, for some reason, when I watch things on Peacock, subtitles do not show up. And I still had a hard time following the dialogue.
That was going to be my question because you talked about seeing the theater and not being able to hear it and understand it that well. And you can't watch with subtitles on Peacock?
Well, at least
because the plumage gets in the way.
I see.
No. For some reason, it just does not work. I turn it off. I turn it on. And there's two
You
different.
lick it, you stroke it.
Well, no, there's also on my TV. There's two different menus to choose your subtitles from.
Okay.
And I'm using both of them, and they're not.
Do yourself a favor and check on your. Are you listening through a stereo or listening through audio equipment? Or
Yeah,
just through
a
the
sound
TV?
bar. Yeah.
Okay. See if there is a dialogue favoring setting.
Oh.
By the way, Gert Frobe was a character name from Joe Dirt.
Oh, my God.
The mob guy who went into protective custody.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you. And then here's another text that says, "Are you guys high?"
Oh, no, not currently.
Gert Frobe was also in the opening 20 minutes of The Longest Day about the Normandy invasion. So he was an actor that worked around that time.
I have Ken on the line. Hi, Ken. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Sorry to bother you at work.
Nah, man. What's up? What do you want to point out?
Just wanted to say one of my favorite comedians back when I was growing up was Benny Hill.
Yes.
And Benny Hill made a cameo in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You're right.
That's correct.
Yeah, a number of the British actors of that time, which would be the 60s, mid 60s, were in that. So, Benny Hill was great.
He was helping them. He was helping the kids
With the
out.
syphilis.
Might have been.
Yeah, he was hiding everybody.
From the dude who played the supposed candy guy, Lollipops.
Child catcher.
That dude was terrifying.
Yeah.
To me, as a kid, he scared the hell out of me.
Any
Lollipops.
Any good kids movie like that should have. There should be an element. That's why The Incredibles is so good. There should be an element of like scariness or unease.
The character was called the Kid Catcher, Casey.
Oh, my God.
The Kid Catcher.
That was the name of Michael Jackson's autobiography.
Because I think children weren't allowed in whatever town they were in, like they were illegal or something like that. Yeah, this is a video of him. He was a really strange-looking guy with an odd nose, and he walked around saying "lollipop."
Oh, I know that guy.
Candies.
He was the Man of La Mancha in Don Quixote.
Oh, really?
That actor, yeah. Which I had to watch in film class one time.
Okay. How was that?
Man of La Mancha?
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's really good. I like the music.
Okay.
My mom's favorite play.
A lot of windmills.
Really?
A lot of
Yeah.
windmills.
Don Quixote?
Man of La Mancha.
I am Don Quixote, man of La Mancha. That's the only song I remember.
And he would
Might be mad at that.
challenge windmills. He was out of his mind.
Yeah.
Hang on. Mike has a comment real quick about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Mike.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
There's a guy that owns the actual car from the movie. He's up here in Greenville, Delaware, and he brings it to all the car shows around.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a cool. Mike, do you remember years ago they still have it? There's a brand of toys called Corgi brand from England.
Absolutely.
So Corgi had the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car. They had the Aston Martin. They had all these kinds of. There was a show called Captain Scarlet. Preston was one of those marionette shows. They had all the vehicles from that. The Thunderbirds. And the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car is a highly sought collectible. That's cool though that it's right in Delaware.
What's even cooler about it? He dresses the part.
Does he?
He brings a generator and a TV and a VCR, and he plays the movie all day.
That is pretty. I wonder because Bob Marley is from Delaware if he ever got to sit in the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang vehicle, Preston.
Yeah.
Convergence of all worlds.
Who was?
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley?
He lived there. He wasn't from there.
Oh, I thought later that whole Jamaican thing was just an affectation.
No, he just lived there first. Okay.
Yeah. One Love was actually about the car.
About the love of tax-free
Chitty
shopping.
Chitty Bang Bang. And tax-free shopping. I had no idea. All right.
This goes out to people who have to pay sales tax.
Thank you, Mike. What all have we looped into this conversation?
It's amazing.
It's
How come when it comes to subtitles and closed captioning, there's not like a standard? Like, I feel Casey's pain on this. Like, shouldn't there be the same button every time with your app?
Yeah, there should be. And not only that, but I was watching, I finished all 5 seasons of Fargo in about 2.5, 3 weeks.
Great show.
But it is a great show. But there was a stretch there where I put, and I have the subtitles on, and I'm reading the subtitles, and it's not making any sense whatsoever. The subtitles were about 2 minutes ahead of the actual scene.
That's annoying.
So what do you watch it on primarily?
Well,
When you're watching
my
your shows.
Roku on Hulu.
I've heard this is a potential. Rokus are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
However, you may want to try watching it on. Do you have an Apple TV?
Yeah, but no.
Try that.
Yeah.
Try that. Would you do that for me? Would you be a dear?
No. Then I got to learn how to. See, the thing with the Roku,
I guess it depends on what app, Casey, because I watch a lot of television on Roku, and I haven't really noticed anything in particular.
Yeah.
About
the thing
delays.
is, I can use the Roku remote without even looking at it now, and I don't have to memorize another remote.
The Apple remote is as simple as it gets.
And then I'm also pissed, Preston, because my Max app, I know you're running into the same issue.
Yeah, I quit going on it.
They don't have a chat bot to talk to. They don't have a phone number to talk. Same thing with PlayStation, because I can't get into my PlayStation network. But Max, I turn on a movie. It's like, sorry, you can't watch it right now. And I'm like, well, why not? And that's on every single Roku.
If you're a company and you rely exclusively, and I'm fine with an active living person texting tech support to you back and forth over a text box. But if you're relying on that chat bot nonsense, that the second you ask a question, pops up about 30 scenarios that might pertain to the question you're asking.
Yeah.
Go rot in hell.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
that's what Kathy told
me. Jeremy, former intern, Elkhorn, texted me a potential solution. I just never have gotten around to doing it. So I'll share that with you. It has to do with logging out of all the accounts, several of the accounts. It may be one of those things where you're using it on too many accounts.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. First world problems.
Rotten
and I have them too.
Rotten straight in hell. And so I have this issue with PlayStation because my son signed up for something that we get charged for every single month, and I can't log into my PlayStation account.
Jerkmates?
It is Jerkmates. I'm blaming my son, but it was really me.
Ever heard of Jerkmates?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
All right. I think we should take a break.
Yeah.
I think we solved some issues that are plaguing most of the Delaware Valley.
I need you to stop talking.
Thank you, Bill. Aw.
I miss Bill.
I miss Bill.
Bill, you know, is taking the family up to see the eclipse up in Buffalo.
I did not know.
Yes, and I thought it was wonderful. He may be the one person to pull off retirement the way he planned to do it. So,
all right,
good for him.
Wow,
Bill Weston.
We hardly knew ye.
You hardly.
Nothing I can say.
Going to see the eclipse. All right, this has been the Chatterer. Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll come back in a second, and John Heffron will be joining us. So stay with us, please. Oh wait, you know what? Nifty 50. Yes! Let's give something away. I have a $50 gift card for Nifty 50s. We'll take call number 18 at 215-263. Don't forget to taste the memories at Nifty 50s. 1950s themed diner with 8 local locations. For a list of those locations, visit nifty50s.com. Which location is represented today, Casey?
They're corporate.
It's corporate here.
Oh,
they're all of
damn
them.
thing.
All of them.
McDade and 420.
Be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kat. So our next guest will be at Helium Comedy Club. He's playing tomorrow and Saturday night. Shows at 7:30 and 10 p.m. And we've got him via Zoom today.
Yes.
So normally right here in the studio, but he's in the comfy confines of his own home.
This is the
morning.
compound.
And we welcome our very good friend, John Heffron.
Yay!
Good morning, everybody.
How you doing,
How are
John?
you guys?
We're good, man. It's good to see you.
Good to see you in this wonderful winter that we've had.
So
I don't know
what-
about you guys, but here in Michigan, our winter was, I think, like 13 hours.
13 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 13 hours of winter, which is nice.
Yeah, so I don't know what part of Michigan you're at, but I had heard, I was there in October, and this person was telling me that you can experience all four seasons in a half an hour in Michigan. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I mean, I've only been living back here in Michigan for 2 years, and I got snow blowers, I got salt, and it snowed for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So what's the temperature? What's the temperature?
Like 50s.
Yeah, nice. That's kind of.
It's enough where I love mowing my lawn so much that I'm like, I'm just gonna mow the lawn
in the winter.
It's February. It's winter, but I'm just gonna mow the lawn.
So
to give it a spin.
You're at the compound, so you're right. We talked about this. You got this sort of set up, and you have the security cameras and all that stuff in place. This is that establishment, right?
Yeah, I got my farm still, but now I have. It's very. My house is becoming. I'm no longer worried about just people coming into my home. Now it's a fight with the animals.
Wow.
It's on a daily basis. I play a game because my house is about 145 years old. I play a game called Guess What Animal's in the Wall.
Yeah. I know that game.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah, and it's maddening. And just the other night, like you heard, because chipmunks are kind of like a-holes a little bit.
Yes.
They get in your walls. They have illegal bowling tournaments. They have 80s trivia on Thursdays, and they run around like crazy. And I hear them in the walls. And what I ended up doing, because I don't know how to get to them because they're in the walls.
Yeah.
So I was cutting the smallest little hole in the drywall I could in hidden places. And then I was sticking like poison. I was putting little packs into the wall just to try to kill him, right?
I hear you.
And my wife started accusing me of like passing gas in certain rooms.
Right.
She goes, it kind of smells, in here. And I'm like, I don't want to tell her it's rotting corpses.
It's dead chipmunks in the wall.
It's dead chipmunks in the wall. Yeah. So I didn't.
Dude, you can't. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Is there a humane way to extract a squirrel? I mean,
I've sent letters. Yeah. I've said you're squatting.
They don't respond.
I've given them lease agreements that are impossible to not break. So I'm like, you guys are loud. It's quiet at 10. So I've done it correctly.
Do you know?
I steal all their little Amazon Prime boxes that are sent to them. I'm just being annoying as like somebody else who lives in there.
Right. No, you're doing all the right things. You're trying to finesse it.
Yeah. I'm smashing their car windows just so they move.
Quality of life. You're reducing their quality of life.
Yeah, but you have to then at one point I'm like, what if I got a snake and put the snake in the wall? At least the snake wouldn't make noise.
It's a Looney Tunes cartoon in the making.
Yeah, it's and then you can't see over one of my shoulders. You'll see a net.
Yeah,
a net there because the other night I was walking to bed, and so this house has like a couple floors.
Yeah,
and it's like. Whatever each floor you go up, the house gets smaller.
Okay,
it's weird. It's like Alice in Wonderland. It just gets smaller and smaller. And some rooms are scary to sleep in. You just hear noises.
Right.
You'll hear an animal either outside or because I live in a farm community, so the people who live down the street from us have sheep, and they just separated all the calves from the moms.
Right.
And it sounds like it is Murder Monday.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds
they scream.
Like
they scream.
Screaming.
Yeah.
So you're just laying in bed going, I'm going to get some sleep. Outside, you just hear, ah! And you're like, is it a Dateline episode? You know what I mean? It was a quiet Sunday on a, so you hear all that. And so side note. So we sleep on the far upstairs, and my wife keeps complaining, and I was going to bring it in to show you guys, but I don't have time to get it. She keeps complaining that I come to bed because my skin's super itchy with too tight of clothes on. She's like, your sweatpants are too tight. You wear socks up to your knees like an old man. You got to like loosey goose. You got to let things breathe. So the other day, I thought she bought me a flannel shirt, and I pull it out of this box. I'm like, this is a cool flannel shirt, but it kept coming out of the box. There was more and more material. And I go, what is this? She goes, it's a men's sleep shirt.
She bought you a night shirt.
I go, it's a dress. Like if you put a nice belt on it and some nice boots, you can go out. It'd be a good thing to wear Vegas. And I'm like, I'm not fighting a guy in a nightshirt. Why didn't you get me the whole thing, like the stocking hat with the pom pom on it, and then I can come down the stairs with a candle,
right?
Fight Ichabod Crane.
Yeah.
But so the things in there that Ned's there because 2 days ago I went downstairs, I came back up, and I just thought I felt like something hit my head, just hair or something like that, and then I look and just swirling right. So my wife's in bed sleeping, swirling directly above her was a bat.
Oh, yep.
Right. So I didn't know what to do. Then it came at me, and I immediately freaked out. And keep in mind, I'm wearing the dress thing that she got me, which is comfortable. I can understand why dudes would wear kilts. Like if you just, you know what I mean?
For sure.
I mean, I don't want to play in women's sports if I wear a skirt, but I would still just like to wear the skirt. So anyway, I had to tell her, I go, Michelle, and then she opens her eyes. I go, don't sit up. I had to walk her through the whole thing because if she jumped up or what'd you wake me for? The bat's gonna be right there.
But that's gonna be more terrifying if you say, don't move. That's
what I was saying to her. I'm like, don't move. Stay on the bed, slide across the bed, and grab my hand. And she's sliding. And then she came, and then she thought it was a person. So then she was wigging out. She thought, there's a person in the house. But it was a bat. Then the bat stuck to the wall. And just as a couple, we're newly married. We've never been through what to do if a bat is in the room drill. We had two totally different
That's
ideas.
a drill. You everyone who listens and knows you are prepared. You and I are both into the tactical stuff. You want to be ready. I always have the shoes right at the side of the bed in case I need to get up and go time. So, but you left the bat drill out.
Yeah, the bat drill was out, and all the windows, because this house is so old, is literally that old school. I have every window taped so draft doesn't come in.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to unwrap windows as the bat's coming around. But then I'm like, do bats eat chipmunks? Is there a way I can
broker
take advantage
that
of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm like, then we have, there was a stray cat that was in our house. A cat. Just
wandered in,
walked by us in our living room. We don't own a cat.
Wow.
It just
wow.
It just walked by, and I'm like,
all right.
It did. Was that in an Amazon box I bought? How did the cat show up? And the cat came over, headbutted me. You know how cats do that?
Yeah, that shows that it's a sign of affection.
And then it walked to the kitchen door and just stood there, and I just let it out. Don't know how it got into this.
You didn't
day.
say, can I help you?
It was a ghost, or maybe
ghost cat.
I ate an edible, and I was the only one seeing the cat. I didn't know. That's a tough one to call. Tell the wife, going, "Did you just see a cat?"
It's just you don't have you don't have a pet door on any of your. Do you have pets?
So that made me think there is a hole somewhere in this house big enough for a cat to want. Or I've lived in this house for 2 years. How long has this cat been in the house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go downstairs. I'm like, did I thought I had some cake left over, and I guess I must have ate it on an Ambien or something. I haven't seen pee or poop anywhere.
He's living off the excess rodents in your
he just eats in your walls.
Yeah,
it's funny you mentioned the bat thing though. Bats go. I've had them a couple times in the home where they come in obviously under the eaves or whatever, but they will work their way down and 3 of the times into the basement. They'll go down in the walls and they go down for some reason. They crawl down. And you're right, when you go into a room, so we have lots of cats, and I've told this story on the air before. I'm walking around my house. At that time, we had 10 cats. And there's, I can't see a cat. I'm walking around. What the hell's going on? I go up to my bedroom. Every cat is in my bedroom. They're all up on the bed or on the bureau, and they're all looking up and following something. But the way bats fly inside is simultaneously cool and very creepy because there's Right?
You can't pick it out.
Right.
You can't figure out, okay, it's going to circle brown. It just does a lot of that weird.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah.
And
it's
flailing.
And so I happen to have a fishing net, talking about the nets. I had a small fishing net that I used to grab it. They're actually really cute. I don't know what they're like where you are, but kind of adorable. And I literally, John, I threw open the door. I had the bat in my gloved hands. I threw it out, and it was like a boomerang. It flew right back into the house.
Freak out.
Yeah. Well, we had I made a mistake, so I used the net, but I didn't have a glove. So now the bat is in the net.
Yeah.
But I don't know how do you cinch the net.
Right.
So it just like came, it just left it again. So it just left it. And eventually I was just kind of swinging, and the noises I was making were probably, but we also have a groundhog issue. And so there's a bunch of crops on one side of me, and this one groundhog ate $10,000 worth of soybean, right? So,
holy hell.
And there's and then one of the guys who lives, a little way, one of his cows broke a ankle because it fell in this groundhog. So another guy, I know I'm throwing a lot of guys at you, said, hey, there's a groundhog I spray painted blue with a quick spray because it ran by me. And I sprayed it. That's the one that's causing all this havoc. So now this blue sprayed groundhog is wanted, like on our street. We're all kind of
looking for the blue groundhog.
So I have this screened-in front door porch or back porch, and the door itself is probably 100 and something years old. It makes that
yeah,
like, and then slams as fast as it can. Like, you got a second to get out before that spring slams it. Well, this groundhog ate through that door.
Jesus.
And is on my Ring camera eating a pear from that pear tree. And I'm at a lounge. I'm at the Delta Lounge maybe a couple weeks ago, and I see the motion sensor go off, and I look at my phone, and it's the groundhog, and it's a radio. I can't tell you what I said, but I started talking to it. I'm like, you are dead. You are dead.
You're in the Delta Lounge?
2 days. I'm in the Delta Lounge. I go, I will be home in 2 days, and you will die. You will die. Like, I'm saying that, and people are at the Delta route, like, they're looking at me. So my neighbor is this guy. He's probably 84. And a side note about him is when I first met him, I saw him running down the street in just normal clothes, like work boots, jeans, flannel shirt, suspenders, keys on a zippy thing, just running. So I didn't say anything that time. I'm like, I hope this guy's not running, something happened. Then I saw him the next day, and then the next day. And then I went to his birthday party, and I asked him, I say, I see you running all the time. And he's old, and he does a 3-mile loop.
Wow.
And I go, but you're always running in regular clothes and boots. Can I just ask you why you do that? And as a older guy who's that old, he just goes, you never know when you're going to be chased. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
he's practicing.
Right? If you're running away from something, how often are you in your Under Armour and you got your knees taped?
Right. Yeah.
Right. For the most part, you're in street clothes and in high heels and running.
That's true. So I
told
bet.
him,
go ahead.
So I told him, I go, hey, I the blue striped groundhog is living under my porch. He's like, it's under your porch. Now it's like a mafia thing. Like, I didn't tell the boss. Like, yeah, I know where the guy is. And he goes, well, can you shoot it? And I go, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like shooting things. I don't like killing things. Like, I would like it to be gone.
Yeah.
But I would like to have like a flip burner phone, go make it done, and then just destroy the burner phone. You know what I mean? But I don't want to actually. I don't want to be the.
You don't want to be the trigger man. Yeah.
I don't want to be the trigger guy. So he goes, put the trap out, and then he goes, put a shot glass on top of the thing, and put a little bit of Buffalo Trace in there, and then leave the bottle. And then I go, they have groundhogs drink booze, and then. He kind of laughed. He goes, no, the booze is for me.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't let me drink. I'm going to leave the bottle in your tree. and I'm going to put the bottle up in the tree. And he goes, but the groundhog will be gone. So I caught the groundhog.
Oh,
you
my
heard
God.
chonk. You hear the trap. Next day, just like Santa Claus, when you leave cookies and milk, everything's eaten, everything's gone. The bottle is about 2. I can go right now and get it out of the tree. And just every time I set a trap and I catch something, a skunk or a possum, a little bit of that booze is gone. It just comes over.
It's crazy. It's like the most.
But my question is, what's this guy's level? If like 2 shots gets me a groundhog, would 12 get me a person?
Yeah.
Like what's his level?
I'm sure he's got room to work.
I guarantee you, you could be the neighbor on the other side. If that other neighbor gets annoying, I think you could have him taken out.
Mm-hmm.
That is why it's like a David Lynch meets Mayberry where you live.
You have to get Peppy Van Winkle for a person though.
Yeah, and it's and we got a bunch of younger kids, so it does get scary here. It is Children of the Corn-esque, and
it sounds.
And I'm at the age of the people that they killed. If you remember the movie,
Right? Sure, You're the guy at the deli with the deli meat cutter. They put your face on it.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try it though, right?
Oh yeah, you don't understand. I got the 90-year-old guy. I'll just give him a couple shots.
What about you? You with their tactical. Casey said you had something tactical that, like, and I'm massively into that. Do you have that?
Oh yeah. Well, I was sitting here.
You were charging something.
Can't see. I was charging.
It looks like a pen light.
Well, I don't. Let's see if it turned it on. It lets me know if there's a camera anywhere. So it would beep. If it was work right now, I would hold it. Like, can you see how it works? So I'd hold it to that camera, but I just turned it off, and it beeps.
What? So if you go into a hotel room or an Airbnb,
if I go into a room, it'll just start beeping, and then I can kind of like a Geiger thing. I can find it, and then the other. now I don't know how to turn it off.
Have you had that? Have you gone to a place and used it and found a hidden camera?
I've used it before. Okay, we get it.
Dude, John just buys these things. He doesn't use them. They just,
I've used this. I use this at Airbnb.
Like an Airbnb. By the way, a report just came out. I think, and I'm maybe overstating this, but I think it's something like 1 out of 5 Airbnb properties. They estimate have some sort of security camera set up, or some sort of surveillance.
But
camera.
you know what? If you're getting off on me taking a dump, God bless you, sir.
Right.
Well, I don't think that's why Airbnbs have them. Wait, so did you find cameras inside an Airbnb?
Not yet. I did find them like at a hotel, but where you
expect that, right?
There was a camera, and then I walk around my house. And I just kind of flip it, and all like the my smart TV has like a camera. I think and then
will it beep if the camera only if the camera is on? I assume that's the case.
It finds it somehow with Wi-Fi. It just it finds that little circle that's on it, and there's a lot of little stuff that I tested out on.
So send us the link. I want one.
Kathy wants one. Yeah, send both of us the link. I picked up something, John. I was thinking clearly of you. It is a baton. I forget what show I was at. It's a baton that has a light, and on the other end is a stun gun. This thing makes it is ridiculous.
Where do you keep it? Is it in your car?
My closet.
Okay.
Because the last thing I want is I'm going to pull it out, and the guy who's attacking me is going to turn it on me.
Right.
But it makes I'll bring it into you guys can see it. It makes the loudest. It's hilarious.
Here's one for you. I got for my wife as a Christmas gift, kind of a joke, but then the more I was playing with it, the more I'm like, this thing's awesome. And you can look it up. It's I got her a tactical umbrella.
Like the Kingsman?
It's a long umbrella that has like the tip on the end is the kind that you can smash a car window.
Right.
Right. But the umbrella itself is slash proof and it's big.
So it's like Kevlar?
So you can walk it. Yeah, it was expensive, but you can. It'll take. It's weird. If you slash, nothing happens. But if you go straight in,
right, for stabbing,
it's like a weird. But this thing's long enough where you deploy it. It's big enough to give yourself maybe like a couple feet to just turn and run.
So, John,
if you could add like a smoke thing, knockout gas, I would change I would Batman it up a little bit.
John, could you, from a distance, if someone shot at you, does this?
I don't think it would stop a bullet, but it's, but no, it's just weird. It's, even if it's super sunny, you're walking around with an umbrella.
Right. Oh my God.
I think so.
I love this stuff.
John, I'm looking at your setup here in the room here, and it looks like you're kind of in a mud room or something like that. But we have you and I share something. I have actual gym lockers at my house, like you do, right behind you there, which is pretty cool. They're not the same color, but
yeah, getting those up. Those will be staying in this house for the rest of my life.
Tell me what a pain in the ass it is to put those things together. Right?
Together, because I, found them for free, but then I had to take them up my stairs. So I'm in this real little office that's at the, peak of my house. But I have stairs that I identify as a ladder.
Yes.
So it's, and people in the 1800s, their feet were little.
Dumb, dude.
Going up the stairs with these things was one of the dumbest things that I've ever done.
Our house is
stayed outside. Yeah.
Our house is 1840, I think it was built. So so it is 50 or whatever.
Well,
Anyways,
for short people too.
Same time frame. Yes.
Yeah.
When I go up to the third floor in the house, you're right. Those are the original steps. They are super thin, and then I always rack my head on the overhang coming down the steps because now I'm gorilla compared to the most of the people at the time.
Also, they don't have closets.
No closets.
No closets. And then on my overhead, I have to put my hand on it as safety, just so I almost want to do it like you're entering a sports arena where it just says like champions win or something. So every time I go downstairs and I hit it, I kind of feel like I'm about to, I don't know, go out onto the field or something.
I'll get that chipmunk today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And when you fall, it's a weird fall because you don't fall back that much.
No.
It's almost like leaning back on an office chair.
Right.
If you get over the fear of going just that far back for a second, you can make it all the way down and end up back on your feet.
Yeah.
I had a bowl of tater tots and I ate it, went ba 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 ba, and landed right back on my feet.
It delivers you standing. Yeah.
And then I do it a couple times just to practice in case like a drill, like a fire department. I just have me and my wife, we just go, bat alert. And then we go, da, 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 and just,
By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's John Heffron, and it's going to be at Helium tomorrow night and Saturday night. Tickets at heliumcomedy.com. At the beginning of this whole conversation, you had mentioned, your wife got you this nightshirt, and you said something which is, I think, very much your personality, which is, I can't fight in this.
Yeah.
Is that on almost anything that you're purchasing kind of a litmus test as to whether this can be used or can I use this while fighting?
Well, it's, okay, so we've been talking about this since I've met you guys, right? Which has been 10,
at least.
Long? Whatever.
Well, are you Krav Maga?
Yeah.
You're Krav Maga as well, right?
Yeah, or 100 years ago I did. But has the world gotten safer since we started talking about any of this?
Yeah, are there no more bats?
Are we right? Or is it getting worse?
Yeah.
The problem is I'm getting older.
Yes.
20 years ago when I talked to you guys and it was doing Krav, I was in my 30s.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm 54. I am the youngest of the old people.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
I am adolescent old age.
Yep.
I am officially. I'm at that age where I'm convinced I drank water at Camp Lejeune.
Is that where? That's where it happened.
I'm pretty sure I have mesothelioma.
Yeah.
It's I've just reached that age where I'm like, consumer cellular seems like a good deal.
Oh my God, dude, are you getting sucked in by those Ted Danson commercials? Because I am.
Well, yeah, and I'm hoping to get my reverse mortgage here.
Right.
What about the cricket phone with the large display, or the
Can
phone?
you imagine just being able to slam your flip phone? Oh, good that felt.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
We're talking about tactical stuff. I mean, even looking at my phone now, I have AT&T. Like my phone isn't working right now.
Yeah.
I have
There's a big outage today. I was just reading about that. Yeah.
I have no cell service. So.
Oh, you know what sucks, John, is when I sit down at night and I'm getting ready to just like sit down and watch TV and I have my phone out and I realize that I left my glasses in the other room. I'm like, I can't do this without my glasses anymore. And I'm like, I'm too lazy to get up and go into the kitchen to get my glasses. Son of a bitch.
Well,
Porn will watch itself.
Yeah.
I'm almost at a level where I want to hang signs with that just say the reason why I would have walked into that room. Just so just so if I walk in, I'm like, what did I even come in here for? But you'll see.
So you say lay out a display of the potential reasons why you would have gone into the room so the next time you forget.
Get a drink of water. Look for headphones, wallet. Yeah, just like kind of curious to go, why
How
am I in this random room?
Yeah, but how about like I'm hungry, right? And I have my frozen tasty cakes in the freezer. And literally last night I'm walking to the freezer to get my tasty cakes. And I had to stand in the middle of the hallway going, where was I going? I mean, honestly, like I stood there for like 5 seconds. I'm like, what the hell was I? I'm like, because I'm standing next to the bathroom and I'm like, I don't have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I don't have anything in the laundry room. I'm like, what the freak did I get up for?
I love that.
Well, you're talking about glasses and I have them on now, but I'm new to glasses and contacts. So I've had contacts for a week and just real quick, average amount of time put contacts in hour and 25 minutes.
No. You're doing it wrong, man. It's taking far too long. Yeah.
And then I realized you need glasses to put contacts on.
Kathy is a lifelong contact wearer, so you would associate with all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kathy?
Oh, absolutely. But I'm used to it now. I could put them in without a mirror, probably.
Well, that's what my wife can do it. Going in reverse down the road, spit in there, get the contact out. I literally look like Clockwork Orange. I have to hold up my eyes. And then one time, so I just wear them for shows. I want ba.
Yeah.
And it's weird. So what they did for my eyes, because I have a little bit of vertigo going on.
Oh.
They gave me $350 for the left eye and then $125 for the right eye. So when I'm on stage now, the people on the left, I see their souls. I see, and then the people on the right, I can't even see them. They just look like,
wow.
A blur. But one real quick story about that. So I went to Costco to get contacts, and then after they go, you have to take them in and out twice, and then you can leave with contacts. So so they gave me a half hour. I failed. I couldn't do it. I couldn't take them in and out twice in a half hour. So the girl goes, you have to leave and come back. And I said, can I just leave with my contacts? I'll watch a YouTube video or something.
Right.
She goes, no, you got to come back. We got to prove to us that you know how to use contacts. So I was mad. So I left Costco. I went to this place called Rural King to buy a little revolver, like this little 22 revolver to deal with things.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just say wall things.
Yeah. So went to this Rural King, bought a gun, left with it in 15 minutes. Nobody asked me if I knew how to use it or I had to show them anything. And I'm like, hey, is this sighted away? And then they're like, sir, we're over here. I'm like, sorry, I don't have the contacts. Okay, so
you need the contacts to be able to put the bullets in the gun.
Yeah, it's all blurry. I'm squinting. I have the revolver thing right up to my face so I can see if the hole's empty or not. It's huge. Yeah.
So I think you wear a watch. You want to try something fun here? Because I hurt my wrist back in December and I started wearing a wrist brace. I'm not wearing it on my wrist now, but I have to wear it on the wrist that I wear my watch. So I have to put my watch on my right hand now. Boy, that's a lot of fun trying to put a watch on a wrist that like you haven't put a watch on. I'm like a child. I cannot do it. I'm like, I need help. I need an extra set of hands to put the watch. I don't know if do you wear a watch? A tactical watch, that is?
I used to have. I've seen some. I had a watch at one point. I'm such a dork,
dude. I have a tactical watch.
I had a watch that you could pull the string out if you wanted to, choke somebody,
like from Russia with Love. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you pull it and it's super small. You pull it, and then if that ever came in handy, I don't know.
For an uppity chipmunk.
Yeah. All right, so John, kidnappers come into your house right now. They take you out and then they chain you up. Is there any? But they don't clear your person of anything. They don't go through your pockets or anything like that. What are you wearing right now that will get you out of a kidnap situation?
Probably my breath.
Okay.
I had to do I have to go for an inner ear balance test after this. And I've not had coffee or caffeine, or I haven't eaten since last night and all that stuff. So right now, I would just be like, listen, I just work this hard.
and he'd let you go.
He'd probably let me go, and then you'd see my old neighbor coming out of his thing, taking a shot very slowly, like a cool movie.
Yeah.
And then you'd see the cat come slowly out, and then you'd see the bat flying, and then all of a sudden I'm like Beastmaster and all these animals, and then we bury his body in the groundhog hole.
Beautiful.
It's perfect wrap
It all
up.
comes together. All right, well, listen, John, we got to wrap, though, man. It's great to catch up with you, and you're going to be performing Helium tomorrow and Saturday. Tickets are on sale now at heliumcomedy.com, but we're happy you're coming back to Philly, man.
Yeah.
Wish you could see you in person, but we'll do it again next time for sure, okay?
All right, guys, take care. Be safe. Look for my line of tactical. I don't know. I got to think of something.
Tactical contact lenses.
Tactical, because now that I'm getting older, it's just going to be, I think, again, cane fighting. I've said it before.
Cane fighting.
We learn how to fight with canes now. We'd have 30 good years in us.
Dude,
and then we're 90 walking around with canes.
They have them. They have canes with stun guns at the end of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go make a purchase right now.
All right, John Heffron, guys. Thanks, Mike. Good to see you. Helium Comedy Club. He's the best, man. All right, listen, we do need to take a break, and we do have some things to give away, so we're going to do that very thing as we stop for a moment. Let's do the Nifty 50s gift card.
Yes.
$50 gift cards. They brought by all kinds of great food here this morning, even some milkshakes, which, milkshakes in the morning? Hell yes. We'll take call number 12 at 215-263 WMMR. Nifty 50s filled with fresh ingredients prepared by hand, like fresh cut fries, freshly ground 100% all beef burgers, and homemade ice creams. You visit nifty50s.com and find a location near you. Caller 12. You're good. We'll be back in a minute.
3 WMMR.
Interesting little text from somebody concerning Cage the Elephant. I wanted to answer this. They said, I've always wondered if Cage is the name of the elephant. Do you remember them telling the story of the origin of the band's name when they were here?
I loved it.
So if you remember, way back when, before there were games to entertain people and things, there were these, it's an old game. You would have a photo on a flat piece. It was usually covered by some glass or something like that, a little container, and they would have little holes in it, and there were ball bearings like BBs inside there, and you would roll them around. You would try to land those balls into the little holes, and it was a picture. In this particular one, was a picture of an elephant, and if you put the balls in what made a cage around the elephant, and so for some reason, they decided that Cage the Elephant from that little toy. I don't remember which member of the band had it. But that would be an idea. I mean, it's like where I would have come up from my list of band names.
Sure.
Just somebody said it and they're like, that's a band name.
Well, I remember those games. There used to be ones too that we'd have like a magnet, and you'd put like it'd be like a picture of a guy's face, and you'd use the iron shavings to put a mustache on him, all that stuff.
Yeah, that was like an art thing.
Yeah.
This was a game to try and get all of the balls into the holes, because it was really hard, because if you moved it around too much, the ball would come out of the hole.
Do you know a game I loved, which had two dials? It's an X and Y axis. It had a rolling
maze.
A maze.
They call that an Enigma.
Yeah.
I think the Enigma game. I had one of those as a kid, and then Steve. Then the other one was a two long metal pipes or sticks, and a really large ball bearing would sit at the end, and you'd have to open up the two sticks, and the ball would slide towards you.
Finesse it down as far as you could,
and you'd have to go, because it would be coming upward. You'd have to open it. You'd get the momentum of the ball moving, and you'd try to drop it into a hole.
I love that one too.
The closer to the hole you could get it, the more points you had. Those games are fun for about 5 minutes now, and then you're like, okay, this is. Then you turn into Kathy. This is stupid.
This is stupid.
You know, one was mentioned a little while ago, and I would love to get one for the house, but it's very long. It's the one that has a little bit of like sawdust or whatever. It's like a shuffleboard.
Yeah, shuffleboard. Yeah,
is that it's called shuffleboard?
They have one down the hall right now. It came from Royal Billiards.
Oh, well, Royal Billiards is where I got my outdoor ping pong table, which I love.
That one's shuffle puck, right? Not shuffleboard.
I think you can go by either name.
Okay.
I've heard it referred to. It may officially be called shuffle puck, but I've heard it called shuffleboard.
I thought shuffle puck was with the pushy thingies.
It is.
No, there's
shuffleboard, you have the
Hufflepuff and Shufflepuck.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
shuffleboard. There's one outside where you use an actual device to push
I love that
those
too.
things. Those are fun as well.
Yeah, that's a cruise ship game.
So, and there is the
Chitty
origin
Chitty Bang Bang.
of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh my God. Of Cage the Elephant. And happy birthday, Dr. J.
Who was?
I pulled up the wrong Wikipedia page.
Dr. J.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's this whole goddamn morning has been that way.
He's still there.
All right, let's do the bizarre file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by the Bagster. You can buy
The
yours
Bagster.
now at any home improvement store, just $29.99, and you fill it up, they pick it up, and on your schedule, and the Bagster is a dumpster in a bag. Buy, fill, gone. Well, another family claims their loved one was missing organs after dying in an Alabama prison, and that a funeral director discovered the problem and warned them against holding a viewing. So I've had a couple of these stories. The family claims in court that the 74-year-old man's brain was missing, along with his other internal organs.
Did he have a brain when he came in? Yes!
You know, in hindsight, maybe he didn't have a brain.
We never looked. We assumed.
So all these were missing after the body was returned from an autopsy at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Charlene Drake's father, Charles Singleton, was serving time in prison for sex crimes. He died at a Tennessee hospital on November 2nd, 2021. At the time of the death, Singleton was incarcerated at the Hamilton aged and infirmed prison in Hamilton, Alabama. Drake said she asked the funeral home director to have a viewing, but the director advised that it would be difficult to prepare his body for a viewing as his body was already in a noticeable state of decomposition characterized by advanced skin slippage.
All right, then. Well, can I just have the brain? I want to wear it as a necklace.
Drake's statement is part of an exhibit in support of the case of Brandon Dotson, whose family said that he was returned to them missing a heart. That's when I'd reported on initially. After dying at the Ventress Correctional Facility.
It's like Shawshank meets the Wizard of Oz.
The dispute over the missing heart is pending in federal court. So a few days after Singleton was taken to the funeral home, Drake said that she and her family went to see her dad's body. The director informed us that there were no organs in the body. He said normally the organs are in a bag placed back in the body after an autopsy.
Famous bag of organs.
But Singleton had been brought to the funeral home with no internal organs. His brain had also been removed. And
don't they call those the fixins?
According to the director, he still had his eyes, but all other organs were gone. Autopsies are standard for inmates who die in prison, while others are sent to the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences. Dotson underwent an autopsy at the Alabama Department of Forensics.
Does an autopsy necessarily mandate that you remove organs? Is that how autopsies are conducted?
I think so, Steve. I think
you can't just kind of leave them in there and just get a little elbow room?
Everything out. Drake said that her daughter called UAB after the discovery of her father's missing organs, but was never able to talk to anyone with the pathology department. She said we were never provided an explanation as to where his organs are.
If I'm not mistaken, don't they take them out like one at a time to weigh them and and then Steve, I think they literally put them back in before burial or whatever.
Well, is that the case?
I believe so.
I don't know. Yeah, I once performed an autopsy on a chipmunk.
All right. Well, they're a lot smaller. This is fun. An electrical engineering student in Germany took a toy car designed for a child. This is like made of plastic. Designed for a child to ride and modified it to reach a speed of 92.24 miles per hour.
So there was the one, somebody had it going like 35, 40 miles an hour. Maybe there was video of a guy going down a highway on one of those.
Like a Power Wheel?
Yeah. But this is 90 miles an hour.
I watched the video yesterday. Marcel Paul, an electrical engineering student at Fulda University of Applied Sciences, said that he spent 10 months conducting research and modifying the toy car to a high-speed electric vehicle. Paul said his goal was to exceed the 88 miles per hour threshold required to time travel in Back to the Future films, and it's smaller than one of those It's really small. Like his butt barely fits on it. He took his finished car to the Hockenheimring racetrack and was clocked at speeds of 92.24 miles per hour. That's insane.
He's
I could
riding
kill
like
you.
Like a luge.
Yeah.
Especially when you're just inches from the pavement.
So he got into the Guinness World Record for fastest ride-on toy car modified.
We need to break that.
Yes, we do. All right, scientists have stumbled upon a surprising artifact at the furthest reaches of our planet's oceans. We're talking about some of the deepest spot in the world. They found a beer bottle.
A beer bottle? Like
yes.
the Marianas Trench?
Yes. The discovery made by oceanographer Dr. Dawn Wright in the Challenger Deep of the Mariana Trench spotlights the alarming extent of human impact even in Earth's most remote areas.
Well, are they totally ignoring the fact that maybe an anglerfish might crack open a beer now and then?
The Challenger Deep, located at an incredible depth of 10,780 meters, below sea level, is known as Earth's deepest point. It's also a place of extreme pressure with more than 8 tons per square inch, which is enough to, of course, crush a human being. Dr. Wright, during a research expedition in 2022, made the astonishing find of a green beer bottle lodged in the sandy depths of the Challenger Deep.
Would that be Heineken?
Well, there's Yingling is in a green bottle. Too.
Okay, there you go.
Moreover, the bottle still bore its label intact. Now, they didn't say what label it was. It looks like a Yingling bottle from this picture that Nick just pulled up. That'd be a hell of an advertisement.
Come on, stop and think about that.
The discovery raises intriguing questions about how the bottle could withstand the crushing pressure of the ocean's depths.
I feel like that looks more like a Heineken bottle. The neck's not long enough for a
Yingling bottle?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
You heard that, huh?
You guys heard that?
Yeah.
All right. A human leg has been found abandoned on a New York subway track.
Who would do something so cruel to abandon a leg?
Police said that it's sparked an investigation.
I don't need you anymore. Why?
Into who it once belonged to and how they lost it.
Wow.
The NYPD said the leg was found Saturday at the Concourse neighborhood of the Bronx between 167th and 170th Street. No details were released about the leg, such as whether it appears to be a male or female or the possible age of its owner.
Isn't there, I think it's in the Bronx or where they were finding along the...
Like the beaches?
Yeah, they were finding what I know there was feet in Seattle.
Right. That was in Washington.
Right, in Washington. And then I think there were a couple of legs.
Maybe.
Yeah.
New York's medical examiner is now examining the leg to find out more details and potentially solve the mystery. The 4-train service was shut down as a result on Saturday, but opened up later on that afternoon. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, I would like to give away something. I've been made aware that we have some extra giveaways this morning. I'm going to give these away, Case.
Nice.
We've got passes for an advanced screening, if you're interested, of the first 2 episodes of the highly anticipated new series, FX's Shogun. It looks really cool.
It does look good.
So it's tonight at 7 o'clock. That's the thing. UA King of Prussia, though. So if that's in your vicinity, we can take 10 callers. I got 10 pairs of passes. It's tonight. And you can go to WMMR.com for another chance to win. But we'll take the first 10 callers, 215-263-WMMR. But I saw the ads for this. I'm like, all right, this looks pretty intense.
Did you ever see like The Last Samurai?
Yeah.
It looks like that, doesn't it? Yeah.
For sure.
FX's Shogun, an epic saga of war, passion, and power set in feudal Japan, premieres on Hulu on February 27th. So we'll set you up if you want to go to that tonight. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. Lesson, question, trash, and music news are on the way. Still got more stuff from Nifty 50s to give away, too. So hang out for a spell. We'll be right back. When they go into that song, the Ataris. 93.3 WMMR, Boys of Summer. 10:20. Today is Thursday. Friday will be along shortly. In fact, just a few minutes, there's going to be no Sabro all the way. And
that's going to be awesome.
And then we will be 1 week away from Cardboard Classic. Woo! We made an announcement earlier this morning. There are some slots available for the fastest sled. All right, so we've had some people open up some slots for us. So if you are interested in not only just going to the Cardboard Classic and witnessing the whole event, why not participate in it? How about that? And the fastest is the easiest to make. They're usually a toboggan style, one person. Some people will do a little more elaborate fastest sled and take a shot at it.
Well, it's really the surface. It's how the tape, whatever you're doing is laying out the slickest. Use the stuff that Clark Griswold used.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
All right, so we have a chance for you can win $500 for that.
Yeah.
And by the way, so we also have more room for the regular, best design and best Tito's handmade vodka sled and favorite fail. All those categories still have availabilities. So you can go to WMMR.com, get signed up, put something together. And don't forget our friend, as I said earlier this morning, Bert Kreischer, him and his crew slapped one together the morning of.
Yes.
We thought it was going to be a joke, and they did great.
Yeah.
They made it all the way down. So you can do this, and we would love to have you there. And it is 1 week from tomorrow. So if you're going to do it now. WMMR.com for all of the details. Today's lesson question prize. We're going to give away a pair of Montage Mountain lift tickets for Friday, March 1st for Cardboard Classic. And that will get you into the show with Collective Soul later on that night for Mountain Fest. All right. So here is the question that we will ask you. What's the sequel to Sly Stallone's body switch movie, That Ain't You? So That Ain't You is his body switch movie, but what's the follow-up to that? The sequel, 215-263 WMMR. It's from about 7 o'clock this morning. If you know the answer, call them. While you're calling, we'll do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, it is brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Live Casino presents comedian Marlon Wayans on March 8th. Tickets are on sale at livecasinophilly.com. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Sylvester Stallone is advising young actors to forget doing their own stunts and let the professionals do them. Stallone points to his 7 severe movie-related injuries and the fact that half of his skull is now made of terracotta.
Will you?
An Amy Winehouse statue in London was vandalized by protesters who covered the statue's Star of David necklace with a Palestinian flag. Not only that, a dialogue bubble was taped to Winehouse's mouth reading, "Bring back the McRib." I don't get it.
Oh, my God.
And finally, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez quietly snuck into a small, unassuming Chinese restaurant in Miami on Sunday night. The couple remained unrecognized for the most of the evening until Bezos left a $1 billion tip.
Let's see if you know the answer to this question. And it is, what is the sequel to Sly Stallone's body switch movie, That Ain't You? 215-263 WMMR is the number. And I'm going to go over to hit the wrong button. No, that's Ron. Hey, Ron.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Awesome. All right, Ron, what is the sequel to That Ain't You?
You're better than that.
You're better than that, yes. Yep, hang on, buddy. We're going to give you a pair of Montage Mountain lift tickets for Friday, March 1st, the day of our Cardboard Classic. The lift tickets will also get admission to the Collective Soul show that night. It is part of Mountain Fest at Montage, and you can get sled registration details. It ends this Sunday. And for a list of Cardboard Classic prizes and information on Mountain Fest, go to WMMR.com/Cardboard Classic.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you this morning by me. All right. Casey just handed this to me. There is a concert announcement. Grammy-nominated artist Jelly Roll and his Beautifully Broken Tour are coming to town. He's going to be playing at Wells Fargo Center on Wednesday, October 2nd.
Isn't he recent award-winning?
Grammy-nominated, it says.
I don't know if he won or
Did
not.
he win the Grammy?
He won something. He might have won country something.
I think it's crazy he's already playing Wells Fargo Center.
How about that?
That's a big-ass venue.
Very much so. So artist pre-sale tickets available starting on Tuesday, February 27th at 10 a.m. General on sale begins Friday, March 1st, 10 a.m. at jellyroll615.com. And I'm sure we'll have all the details at WMMR.com shortly for that.
Maybe people getting to the big room, big joint, as Pierre says, sooner. Is that maybe where we do the next Christmas miracle?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, probably.
Why did we overlook that?
The potential.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? But we do the Camp Out for Hunger right there.
All
that
right.
whole, and that's
know what?
like 2 weeks later, we'd be right back there.
The Colonial Theater was awesome. So
It was.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
All right, we'll stay there for now.
All right.
Despite
your begging.
Oh, this note just handed to me. Just brought in. Was that Chuck?
That was Chuck.
We've landed on the moon.
No, not that. New Lincoln Park played tonight, 12 midnight. Jackie Bam Bam is going to have that for you, of course. So if you love music, you'll love Lincoln Park.
Just a side note. Isn't there a commercial landing on the moon?
Yes, today. Yeah, not a commercial, but a.
I don't think it's NASA.
Oh, I thought you were joking, saying there's a
Is it
commercial
J.G.
landing on the
Wentworth?
moon.
No.
Yeah, I've got the
J.G. Wentworth.
877.com.
Man, we are all over the place.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Here, I'll find that for you, Steve.
I'm sorry to throw that at you, but I made the.
They're sending a commercial
at
to the
some
moon?
point that I was going to do like a totally Presbo break.
Well, let's tease that for later. If you like information, then listen to Totally Presbo.
I need to do it now because it's going to be old news
That's
tomorrow.
right, true.
So, true that.
True that.
So I had set it aside, but we never got to it because our guests we were having a
They were
great
so
time
good.
chatting with
And then
them.
we did that deep dive into Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Nick, I'm looking through my crap. Pull it up, please. You can.
Can you decrap him?
Yep.
Landing on the moon today.
Yeah, today's the 22nd. Yep. So it lands. It was launched on the 15th.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Artemis campaign.
Unmanned, and it is the first American mission to make a soft landing on the moon since Apollo 17 touchdown in 1972. It was built by a private company. The spacecraft was funded by NASA, which wants 6 scientific instruments delivered. So it's a combined effort.
Right. A joint effort.
Spacecraft Odysseus is expected to land at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time today.
So here's the deal. Right. Think of the cameras that were up aboard that vehicle how many decades ago. Think of what we got now.
I know. It's going to be really cool to see that again. So, we'll have that. We'll chat about that tomorrow, probably.
All right. This just in tomorrow.
Now, I was really bummed out to see this. We were talking about Foreigner yesterday and them trying to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fans have noticed that Foreigner founder Mick Jones, his increasing absence from the band's shows over the past few years, and he's now revealed why. In a statement issued yesterday, announced that he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. But he was diagnosed several years ago.
So is it a slower progressing?
Well, it can be, and it has curtailed his ability to join Foreigner for concerts. In the statement, though, he added, "I want everyone to know I'm doing all right. However, I've always liked to be at my best when performing on stage, and sadly, at present, I find that a bit difficult."
So who will step in for Queef Sniffer?
I don't know who's covering for him. They have a current version of the band, which Lou Graham's not in, but Mick Jones it's his band.
Yes, it is.
He founded that band. He wrote a lot of those songs. He produced all of their stuff. He went on to produce a lot of other acts, Van Halen and a few others.
Yeah,
So
very
he's-
talented guy.
Yeah, so this was sad to hear. He added, "I'm still very much involved in the background with Foreigner and remain a presence. Parkinson's is a daily struggle. The important thing is to preserve and remind myself of the wonderful career I've had in music. I thank all the fans who've supported Foreigner throughout the years and continue to attend our concerts, and I want you to know I appreciate your support. It always means so very much to me, but especially so at this point in my life." This comes after Foreigner received its first ever nomination for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, despite being eligible since 2002. After the first week of fan voting, Foreigner ranked third behind Ozzy Osbourne and Peter Frampton with 86,916 votes. The current lineup of Foreigner, led by bassist Jeff Pilson and singer Kelly Hansen, is in the midst of a farewell tour that includes a summer run with Styx and John Waite.
So Frampton is dealing with an illness that is, we talked about that, and so they can get these guys in. I mean, come on.
Health has always been an issue, or has been an issue with Jones since the early 2010s, especially after his 2012 heart surgery. So hopefully he's going to be doing all right. Slayer will headline the second night of this year's Louder Than Life Festival in Louisville, Kentucky. The band joined fellow headliners Slipknot, Motley Crue, and Korn at the event slated to take place at the Highland Festival grounds.
No Josh Groban?
September 26th through the 29th. He's not on the bill yet. Also, we'll feature sets from Disturbed, Judas Priest, Five Finger Death Punch, Evanescence, Falling in Reverse, Breaking Benjamin, The Offspring, Stained, Chevelle, Dropkick Murphys, Hailstorm, Seether, In This Moment, Anthrax, Sum 41, Mastodon, and Tom Morello.
That is a hell of a lineup.
It is.
Especially if that's your jam.
Yeah, Slayer, whose final lineup included original members, guitarist Kerry King and bassist singer Tom Araya.
Dom Irera.
No, not Dom Irera. Along with drummer Paul Bostaff and guitarist Gary Holt were announced as headliners for this year's Riot Fest on Wednesday.
Kathy, what hotel are you going to stay at near there?
Yep. And then finally, out on Friday is 10,000 Volts, a new solo album from original Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley. It's Frehley's first release since the Covers album. The Covers album Origins Volume 2 in 2020, which is probably when we spoke to him. I don't remember how long ago it was. And his first of original material since Spaceman in 2018. No, that's when we spoke to him.
Right.
Spaceman 2018. Frehley wrote and co-produced the album first of original material, with Steve Brown of Trickster. And he said, here I am at age 72.
I'm coming on a friggin' spaceship.
And I put out one of the best records I've ever recorded. And
Rock and roll.
And the singing is some of the best vocals I've ever done, he said. It really doesn't make any sense, but I'm the kind of guy that always broke the rules, Yeah.
Do we have any fans of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang area tonight?
You know what song I love from his? I've never grown old, tired of his New York Groove. I think that is just a cool tune. I've always loved it. He's going to play on the Monsters of Rock cruise March 2nd through the 6th out of Miami and plans to tour extensively in support of the album.
I'd love to see him in a pair of Bermuda shorts and black socks.
On a cruise?
Yeah.
We shared the story where Pierre and I saw him in the elevator at the Borgata that one time.
Oh, right.
Because he and Mike McCready of Pearl Jam are friendly. McCready's a huge Kiss fan. And so Frehley's getting on the elevator, and he's got like a carrier full of coffee and 3 or 4 babes around him. And Pierre and I were like, hey, what's up, Mace? And he's like, that was it. Doors closed, and that was the end of our encounter.
All right, there you go.
I like coffee.
Right.
All right, and that's it in music news.
Yay.
Let's take a break, and let's give away the last $50 gift card for Nifty 50s. We'll take caller number 14, 215-263, WMMR, 10-time Best of Philly winner. Nifty 50s is famous for their mouth-watering burgers, fresh-cut fries, hand-dipped milkshakes, and handcrafted sodas. With 8 locations, you can visit nifty50s.com and find one near you. So we'll take that caller now, 215-263, WMMR. Coming back to wrap it up. Stick around. Everything that rocks. 1042, Preston and Steve Show. She's looking down, but I see a sparkle in Kathy's eyes because today is National Margarita Day.
Yeah.
What?
I was writing out my recipe for later.
Is that what you're doing?
It is National Margarita Day. I'm so excited.
Is that your favorite drink, your favorite libation?
Yeah, anywhere I go, I will try the skinny margarita. That's usually what I get if they make it. I have a rule. If they go, yeah, I can make it, I'm like, no, thank you. No, you can't. Yeah, and I do. I think it's a great drink, and that's usually what I'll start out with, at least
funny.
one margarita.
You use so when I agree and support your methodology there. When I go to a new restaurant, I order coffee at the beginning of the meal because if the coffee is good and it is not obviously a recycled pot or or whatever, then I'm like, okay, I can be a little confident with
Kathy,
my order.
the downside of margaritas is that sometimes they're too good.
Yeah, that's not a downside.
Yeah, it is. Because you can down like 5 of them like that. And I mean, just they're like
they're good for you.
They're like candy.
And you know what? They've really got, like, a lot of places, if you go to a good restaurant, they've gotten really good with the different types of margaritas, like a spicy margarita, or I just tried a blackberry margarita. Like they're really getting good with them.
I like mine a little on the sweet side. The ones that are you taste them, they're like mega tart. I'm like, and I know that's probably a little more traditional, but I like a little sweetness in mine.
Are they virgin? They're virgin margaritas.
Of course,
right?
yeah. Anything that's got a sweet mixy taste
can make
to it.
it.
Yeah, you can do a virgin version of it.
Is it still a margarita if you put vodka in it instead of tequila?
No.
Can you do that?
That sounds kind of
Casey,
gross.
I will take drinks though if I see a drink on the menu that it looks like I would like their mix of it, and it comes with vodka, I'll ask them to put tequila in it.
Really?
And then you can call it a margarita.
There you go.
Yeah, so enjoy National Margarita Day. Pierre Robert is here. Speaking of National Booze Days. How you doing?
I got to puke. We had a newsman. I hope he's still alive, but God bless him wherever he is. Bob White, and
Bob White.
That was his name.
Wow. Okay.
And he was quite an imbiber, quite a character at Rittenhouse Square. He lived in our building, the Wellington, on like the 20th floor. We were on the 4th floor. He would just get in his robe and slippers and come down to the 4th floor, walk down the hallway, and they called it rip and read. They had these news wires.
Yeah.
He would rip off 4 or 5 stories, read them once, and go back up to his thing. And those are the only 5 stories you'd hear all day. But he was known to carry on, and there was a bar right around the corner called the Bullshot. And Bubba John in the evening would have cocktails delivered, and the waitresses would put drinks on cocktail trays and walk them down Sansom and make a right on 19th into the Wellington and bring them up for Bubba. However, we also, the beautiful Sam Eric or Boyd Theater was there before those a-holes tore it down. And we had a lot of movies there. And at one of the movies, I'm getting to the story, believe me.
Right, we got
At
it.
one of the movies, the crowd was emptying out, and there on Sansom Street, it emptied out right next to the Bullshot. There was Bob White in a bright green satin MMR jacket, puking his guts out, leaning over. So all of the people that were exiting the MMR film, whatever was playing.
Oh, no.
And he leaned up, and as some girl looked at him in horror, wiped his mouth and goes, just making room for more.
Wow.
Ew.
So, I don't know.
I
think Bob's dead.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Got a bump for a friend? He also used to say that.
Wow.
Got a book for a friend?
Bump.
Oh, a bump for a friend.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Wow. All right.
I wasn't his friend. I didn't have any bumps.
No bumps for your friend.
I once, and my
Bob
friend, I was
White.
so innocent in my first Christmas party. I went up to him. I had come from the station KSAN that won news awards regularly for their news coverage. And I said to him, now, Bob, I'm just curious why you don't do more deeper stories. What do you mean? I'm going, I was so innocent. I didn't know what I was saying. And I go, well, he would never do a sound bite with any news, like the sound things, or, stories about neighborhoods or difficult challenges or environmental news. Oh, that's whale news. I don't do whale news.
Whale news.
And he walked away. So,
You
I think I made a good
Seems
impression.
happy, yeah.
You mentioned the name of the bar, Bullshot. Have you ever had a Bullshot, the
I have
drink?
not.
And any of you guys ever had a Bullshot?
No.
I had one last year. I had the pleasure of playing Pine Valley, the super duper exclusive golf course, greatest golf course in the country. And a guy that I was playing with asked me if I would like to try Bullshot. I had it. It's vodka and beef consomme.
Wow.
Right?
Interesting.
Doesn't it sound weird?
How was it?
It was weird.
Yeah.
And like Worcestershire sauce?
A little, throw a little Worcestershire in there. Essentially, it's a savory cocktail like a Bloody Mary would be.
Yeah.
And I was open to it, but I would definitely not order one as a can't
Right.
wait to have that,
But as like a request or something that's offered to you at a nice place like that, you don't want to be
you gotta
impolite.
try it out.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did try it out. But
Sounds like it sucks.
Bullshot.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
There it is.
Yep. All right, letter of the day?
Yes.
All right, there that is.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the President and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
O as in Oregon.
All right, we have one more letter to go, and then we give away the prize pair of lower-level tickets to see the Flyers and Lightning Tuesday at the Wells Fargo Center. You can get tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
Back home to Oregon.
We'll give that away tomorrow. Back home to Oregon.
Jimmy.
All right, let's say hi to Jimmy, if you would, please.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Got you.
Jimmy.
So what's up on the program today?
Well, speaking of Jimmy, since it is Margarita Day,
I don't know.
we will do a block of Jimmy Buffett.
Hey!
Jimmy. Jimmy.
Jimmy Buffett. I love it.
So also a block of John Mellencamp, and for Bradley's birthday, would be Bradley's birthday, And Eric Wilson's birthday of Sublime. We'll do a block of Sublime. And more tickets to the Tony Award-winning new musical Girl from the North Country, featuring the songs of Bob Dylan at the Forest Theater. So a lot of fun.
Wonderful. I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Duncan. And the Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Meineke Car Care. You won't pay a lot, but you'll get a lot. And then tomorrow on the program, to wrap up the week, it is Adrienne Iapalucci in studio.
Nice.
Adrienne will be joining us. And it's No Sad Bro Friday.
Yeah.
Aw. So we'll get set for all that and join us tomorrow, please. We'd love to have your company. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you later, gang.
Preston.